My beloved child, I know your heart has been searching for an answer that no one around you seems able to give. You have smiled when others were watching, yet inside you have carried questions that have grown heavier with every passing day. You have wondered if anyone truly sees the battles you fight in silence. You have asked yourself how much longer you can keep moving forward when every step feels uncertain. Even now, as you listen to my voice, there is a part of you that longs to believe that hope still exists, yet another part fears disappointment. That is why I am calling you today. Come to me. I will guide you through this. Do not let the noise around you convince you that you have been abandoned. The world speaks with many voices, each demanding your attention, each offering its own path, yet leaving your soul more restless than before. But my voice has never been one of confusion. My voice has always been the quiet whisper that reaches your heart when everything else becomes too loud. I have been calling your name long before you realized it. I have watched every tear you tried to hide, every sleepless night you believed no one noticed, and every prayer that seemed to disappear into silence. None of them were ever forgotten. Perhaps you believe that this season has come to destroy you. Perhaps you look at the road ahead and see only darkness, only uncertainty, only reasons to fear what tomorrow may bring. But what if this moment is not the end of your story? What if the very place that seems empty is the place where I am preparing to reveal my greatest work within you? You cannot yet see what I see. You cannot yet understand why certain doors have closed or why certain dreams have been delayed. Yet I ask you not to measure my faithfulness by what your eyes can see. My plans have always reached farther than human understanding. I know the weight you carry. I know the disappointments that still echo in your heart. I know the promises others broke, the trust that was shattered, and the strength you have spent trying to hold everything together. You have grown tired of pretending that everything is fine. You have grown weary of searching for direction in places that leave you emptier than before. But you no longer have to walk through this alone. The burden was never meant to rest only on your shoulders. Come closer to me. Do not run from your fears or hide your questions. Bring them into my presence. I am not frightened by your doubts, and I am not discouraged by your weakness. I am your loving Father, and I have never stopped reaching toward you. Even when you felt lost, I knew exactly where you were. Even when you believed you had wandered too far, my hand remained stretched out toward you. Stay with me until the end of this journey, my beloved child. What feels impossible today will not always remain this way. I am about to show you that every step, every tear, every delay, and every unanswered question has been leading you towards something greater than you can imagine. Come to me, and I will guide you through this. My beloved child, before you take another step, I want you to know something that can change the way you see your entire life. I have never looked away from you. Not for a single moment. There has never been a day when you were forgotten, a night when I stopped watching over you, or a season when my love for you became weaker. Even when you believed you were invisible, you were fully seen by me. Even when you thought your cries were swallowed by silence, every word reached my heart. There were mornings when you woke up with questions that no one could answer. You carried responsibilities that felt heavier than your strength could bear. You wondered why the road had become so difficult and why the dreams you once held so tightly now seemed farther away than ever before. I was there. I saw the quiet sigh you released before anyone else was awake. I heard the prayer you whispered without expecting a reply. I noticed the tears you quickly wiped away because you did not want anyone to know how deeply you were hurting. You may think that because I have been silent, I have been absent. But my silence has never been abandonment. There are moments when the deepest work I perform is hidden beneath the surface, where your natural eyes cannot yet see it. Just as the roots of a mighty tree grow deep underground before its branches reach toward the sky, I have been strengthening your foundation while you wondered why nothing seemed to be changing. Growth often happens where human eyes cannot witness it, but I see every moment, every struggle, every small victory that no one else celebrates. My beloved child, remember a loving father teaching a small child to walk. The father does not stop loving the child when the child stumbles. He does not turn away because of slow progress. Instead, he watches carefully, ready to lift the child each time they fall. It is how I have watched over you. Every time fear calls you to hesitate, I remain beside you. Every time disappointment knocked you down, my hand was already reaching to help you rise again. Your failures have never changed my heart toward you. Your weakness has never surprised me. I knew every chapter of your story before the first page was written. There have been people who misunderstood you. Some judged your journey because they only saw a single moment instead of the entire path. Others walked away when you needed them most. Those wounds have made it difficult for you to trust. Sometimes you even wonder if I will leave you the way others have. But I am not like those who make promises only to break them. My love does not depend on your performance. My faithfulness does not rise and fall with your emotions. I remain constant when everything around you changes. Do you remember the moments when something unexpected protected you? There were delays that frustrated you, conversations that never happened, opportunities that disappeared, and plans that suddenly changed. You thought those moments were only disappointments. Yet many of them were my unseen hand leading you away from dangers you never knew existed. I was watching roads you could not see. I was arranging events beyond your understanding. My wisdom has always extended beyond the limits of your vision. Even in the seasons when you wandered, I stayed close. Like a shepherd who never loses sight of a single sheep, my eyes followed every step you took. I waited with patience, not anger. I called to you with gentleness, not condemnation. My desire has always been to bring you nearer to my heart, not to push you away. You have never traveled beyond the reach of my mercy. My beloved child, there is something I need you to stop believing today. Stop believing that you have been forgotten. Stop believing that your prayers have disappeared into empty space. Stop believing that your pain has no purpose or that your future has already been decided by your past. Those thoughts were never spoken by me. My voice speaks life where fear predicts defeat. My voice speaks hope where despair whispers surrender. I have watched every chapter of your journey, and because I have seen every moment, I know exactly what you need for the chapters still to come. Trust me when I tell you that I am already working beyond what your eyes can perceive. The story is not over. I am still writing it, and every page is being held securely in my loving hands. My beloved child, you have been carrying burdens that were never meant to rest upon your shoulders alone. For so long, you have believed that you must be strong enough to solve every problem, fix every broken situation, and hold every part of your life together by your own strength. You have tried to silence your fears, hide your pain, and convince yourself that if you just work harder, think smarter, or endure a little longer, everything will finally become easier. Yet the weight has only grown heavier. Your heart has become weary because you were never created to carry life without me. Come closer to me now. Do not stand at a distance because you feel ashamed of your weakness. Do not believe the lie that you must first have everything figured out before you can approach me. I do not ask you to come to me with perfect answers. I ask you to come with an honest heart. Bring me your confusion. Bring me your fears. Bring me the disappointments you have hidden so deeply that even you struggle to put them into words. I already know them, Yet I desire that you place them into my hands instead of holding them tightly against your own heart. Imagine a traveler walking a long road with an enormous pack upon his back. At the beginning of the journey, he believes he can carry it without difficulty. With each mile, however, the load becomes heavier. His shoulders ache. His steps become slower. His eyes remain fixed on the weight instead of the beauty surrounding him. Eventually, he becomes so exhausted that he wonders if he will ever reach his destination. Then someone stronger comes beside him and says, "Let me carry what is crushing you." But the traveler hesitates because he has become so accustomed to the burden that he cannot imagine walking without it. My beloved child, how often have you become like that traveler? You have carried worries that belong to tomorrow before tomorrow has even arrived. You have carried guilt from yesterday as though I had never offered forgiveness. You have carried responsibility for things that were never yours to control. You have even carried the opinions of people who never truly understood your heart. Each burden has stolen a little more of your peace, until you began to mistake constant exhaustion for normal life. I never intended for your soul to live under such constant pressure. I created you for relationship with me, not for endless striving. There is a difference between responsibility and burden. Responsibility helps you grow, but burdens that you refuse to surrender will slowly drain your joy, your hope, and your strength. That is why I continue calling you, not with anger, but with compassion. I say to you again, come to me. These are not empty words. They are an invitation into a different way of living. When you place your burdens into my hands, it does not mean every circumstance changes overnight. It means you no longer carry those circumstances by yourself. I walk beside you. I strengthen you when your strength runs low. I give wisdom when your mind feels overwhelmed. I provide peace when your heart is surrounded by uncertainty. The storm may still exist around you, but it no longer has permission to rule within you because my presence becomes your shelter. Do not confuse surrender with giving up. Surrender is one of the greatest acts of faith. It is choosing to believe that my hands are stronger than yours. It is trusting that my wisdom reaches beyond what your understanding can grasp. It is releasing the need to control every outcome and allowing me to lead you one step at a time. The world may call this weakness, but in my kingdom, surrender is where true strength begins. There will be moments when you are tempted to pick your burdens up again. Fear will whisper that you must handle everything yourself. Anxiety will tell you that if you stop worrying, something terrible will happen. But worry has never created peace. Fear has never secured your future. They only steal the strength you need for today. Every time those voices return, come back to me. Lay your burdens down again. My patience never grows tired of receiving you. My beloved child, rest is not found because life becomes perfect. Rest is found because you finally trust the one who holds your life. You do not have to earn my care. You do not have to prove your worth before I help you. You are my beloved child, and that alone is enough. So release what has been weighing down your soul. Open your hands. Open your heart. Walk beside me instead of ahead of me, and you will discover that the journey becomes lighter, not because the road has changed it, but because you are no longer walking it alone. My beloved child, one of the hardest lessons for your heart to accept is that you do not need to see the entire road before taking the next step. You often want for certainty. You want every question answered, every obstacle removed, and every outcome revealed before you move forward. You believe that if you could simply see what lies ahead, your fears would disappear. But I tell you with love that complete understanding has never been the foundation of faith. Trust has always been. If I showed you every detail of your future today, You would become overwhelmed by everything that must happen before you arrive there. You would see victories, but you would also see battles. You would see joy, but you would also see seasons of waiting. You would see dreams fulfilled, but you would also witness the moments that shape your heart through patience and endurance. There are blessings that can only be received by walking with me one day at a time. That is why I reveal the journey little by little. Imagine yourself walking through a quiet forest before sunrise. The path stretches far into the distance, but darkness hides what lies ahead. In your hand is a small lantern. Its light does not illuminate the entire forest. It only reveals the next few steps before you. At first, this seems frustrating. You wish the lantern were brighter. You wish it could show you every turn, every hill, and every destination. Yet as you continue walking, you discover something beautiful. The light always moves with you. Each step you take reveals another. You never walk into darkness without enough light for that moment. My beloved child, my guidance often works in the same way. I rarely reveal your entire future because I want your heart to remain close to mine. If you already knew everything that would happen, you might stop seeking my voice. You might begin depending upon your own understanding instead of my wisdom. But when you trust me for today's step, your relationship with me grows stronger than your desire for certainty. Every day becomes another opportunity to discover my faithfulness. Do not mistake limited vision for my absence. Just because you cannot see beyond the next bend does not mean I am uncertain about where you are going. I stand outside of time. I see the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. What surprises you has never surprised me. What confuses you has never confused me. Before you reached this moment, I had already prepared grace for it. Before the challenge arrived, I had already made provision for your strength. There have been times when you asked me for answers, but instead I offered you peace. You wondered why I did not explain everything. It was because peace would carry you farther than explanations ever could. Human understanding often satisfies the mind for a moment, but my peace guards the heart through every season. There are questions that will only make sense after you have walked farther with me. Looking back, you will recognize my fingerprints on moments that once seemed random. You will see how every delay, every detour, and every unexpected change quietly moved you toward the purpose I prepared for you. Think of a child walking beside a loving father through unfamiliar streets. The child does not know every road or every destination. Yet the child does not become afraid because a trusted hand is holding theirs. Security does not come from knowing the map. It comes from knowing the one who leads. In the same way, I ask you to place your hand in mine. Let my presence become greater than your uncertainty. Let my promises become louder than your fears. Do not allow impatience to convince you that you are falling behind. The pace I have chosen for your journey is intentional. Some lessons cannot be hurried. Some blessings require preparation within your heart before they can be safely placed into your hands. If I move faster than your soul was ready for, the very gift you prayed for could become a burden instead of a blessing. My timing protects you just as much as my direction does. My beloved child, every step of obedience, no matter how small, is leading you somewhere greater than you realize. When you choose kindness instead of bitterness, you move forward. When you choose faith instead of fear, you move forward. When you continue trusting me even without complete answers, you move forward. Never underestimate the power of one faithful step. So stop measuring your progress by how much of the road you can see. Measure it by how closely you are walking with me. The light I have given you today is enough for today. Tomorrow, I will provide light for tomorrow. You were never asked to carry the future. You were only invited to trust the one who already holds it. Stay close to me, my beloved child, and I will faithfully guide you through every step until the journey is complete. My beloved child, I know there have been moments when you looked toward heaven and quietly asked, "Why is this taking so long?" You have prayed with sincere faith. You have waited with hopeful expectation. Yet the answer seemed delayed, and your heart began to wonder if I had forgotten my promises. You watched others move forward while you remained in the same place. You saw doors open for them while yours stayed closed. You questioned whether you had done something wrong or whether your time would ever come. I have heard every one of those questions, and I want you to know this today: my timing has never been late. It has always been perfect, even when it did not feel that way. Your understanding measures time by days, months, and years. My wisdom measures time by readiness, purpose, and eternal good. There is a difference between waiting and being abandoned. Waiting in my hands is never wasted. Every season that feels still is filled with unseen movement. Even when you cannot detect it, I am working beneath the surface in ways that will one day leave you in awe. Look at the seasons I place within creation. A farmer does not scatter seeds into the ground in the morning and expect a harvest by evening. He understands that hidden work begins the moment the seed disappears beneath the soil. To someone passing by, the field appears empty. There is no visible sign of life. Yet beneath the surface, roots are stretching deeper, preparing to support what will later rise into the sunlight. If the seed were forced upward before its roots were ready, the first strong wind would destroy it. My beloved child, there have been seasons when you felt buried, but you were not being buried. You were being planted. Those moments that seemed like delays were often the very places where I was growing strength within you. Your character was becoming deeper. Your faith was becoming steadier. Your compassion was becoming greater. These are treasures that cannot be formed in moments of comfort alone. They grow through trust, patience, and quiet dependence upon me. I know it is difficult to celebrate a season when you cannot yet see the fruit it will produce. I know your heart longs for immediate answers. But if I were to place every blessing into your hands the moment you desired it, many of those blessings would arrive before your heart was prepared to receive them. What I give you is precious. I do not simply prepare gifts for my children. I also prepare my children for the gifts. Think of a skilled builder constructing a beautiful home. Before the walls rise, the foundation must be carefully laid. This part of the work receives little attention because most people only admire what they can see. Yet the hidden foundation determines whether the house will stand for generations or collapse under pressure. In the same way, I have been strengthening the unseen places within your heart. While you focused on the visible delays, I was establishing a foundation that would sustain the future I have planned for you. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. The path I have designed for you is uniquely yours. Another person's timing is not your timing. Another person's assignment is not your assignment. If you spend your days measuring your life against theirs, you will overlook the beautiful work I am accomplishing in your own story. Trust that I know exactly when each door should open, each opportunity should appear, and each promise should unfold. There were prayers you asked me to answer immediately, yet my love chose to answer them differently. Not because I wanted to withhold good from you, but because I could see what you could not. A child may ask for fruit before it has ripened, believing it is ready simply because it is visible. But the loving gardener waits until the fruit reaches its perfect season. If it is picked too soon, it cannot offer the sweetness it was created to give. My beloved child, I have never delayed out of indifference. I have delayed out of wisdom, love, and protection. Even now, while you are listening to my voice, Things are moving that you cannot yet see. Hearts are changing. Circumstances are shifting. Doors are being prepared. Lessons are reaching completion. Pieces of your story are coming together with perfect precision. What appears silent is not empty. What appears delayed is not forgotten. So do not allow impatience to steal the peace I desire to place within you. Instead of asking only, "When will this happen?" begin asking, "Lord, what are you teaching me while I wait?" That question opens your heart to the treasures hidden within this season. You will discover that I am not only leading you toward a destination, I am shaping you into the person who can walk faithfully when you arrive there. My beloved child, hold tightly to this truth whenever waiting becomes difficult. I have never been early, because you would not have been ready. I have never been late, because my love never fails. I arrive exactly when my perfect purpose and my perfect timing meet. Trust me a little longer. The season you have been praying for is closer than you think, and when it comes, you will understand that every moment of waiting was held securely within my loving hands. My beloved child, I know there are storms surrounding your life that seem determined to steal your peace. Some storms come from circumstances beyond your control. Others rise from deep within your own heart. There are days when your thoughts race faster than you can quiet them. Your mind imagines every possible outcome, and fear tries to convince you that the worst is certain to happen. You search for peace in changing situations, believing that if only everything around you became calm, then your heart would finally be at rest. But I want to show you something far greater. My peace does not begin when the storm ends. My peace begins when you allow me to dwell at the center of your heart. The world often defines peace as the absence of trouble. But my peace is different. My peace remains even when questions remain unanswered. My peace stays when the winds are still blowing. My peace is not built upon changing circumstances. It is built upon my unchanging presence. That is why no storm is powerful enough to take away what I place within you unless you surrender it to fear. Imagine a mighty river flowing through a valley. On the surface, strong winds may stir the water. Rain may fall. Waves may rise. Yet beneath the surface, deep currents continue moving with quiet strength. They are not controlled by the weather above them. In the same way, I desire to create a deep river of peace within your soul. There may still be challenges around you, but beneath them all, my presence will remain steady, faithful, and calm. Too often you have allowed your emotions to become the measure of my faithfulness. When you felt strong, you believed I was near. When you felt weak, you questioned whether I had left you. But my beloved child, my presence has never depended on your feelings. Feelings rise and fall like the tides, but my love remains as constant as the sunrise. There are days when clouds cover the sky, yet the sun has not disappeared. It continues shining above the clouds, even when your eyes cannot see it. In the same way, there may be moments when my presence feels distant, but I have never moved away from you. I remain exactly where I have always been. I know the voices that compete for your attention. Fear whispers that you are not going to make it. Anxiety tells you to expect disaster before it arrives. Regret pulls your thoughts backward while worry drags them into tomorrow. Soon your heart becomes divided between memories you cannot change and futures that have not yet happened. In the middle of all those voices, my gentle voice calls you back to this moment. I remind you that I am with you here, now. I give you grace for today. I provide strength for today. I ask you to trust me with today. There is a reason why I invite you to rest instead of striving. Rest is not laziness. Rest is confidence. It is the quiet assurance that your life is not spinning out of control because it is safely held within my hands. A child sleeps peacefully through the night, not because the child understands every danger outside, but because the child trusts the one watching over the home. I want your heart to find that same confidence in me. You do not need to stay awake all night carrying worries that I never asked you to bear. While you rest, I continue working. While you sleep, I remain watching over you. Do not believe that you must earn my peace. It is not a reward for perfect behavior. It is a gift that flows from walking closely with me. The more time you spend in my presence, the more your anxious thoughts begin to lose their power. They do not disappear because you become stronger on your own. They lose their grip because my truth becomes greater than your fear. When panic begins to rise within you, do not run from me. Run toward me. Speak honestly to me. Tell me what troubles your heart. I already know every concern before you mention it, yet I delight when you bring it into my presence, because every conversation draws us closer together. As you place each fear into my hands, you create room for my peace to fill the places where anxiety once lived. My beloved child, there will always be storms in this world, but you do not have to become a storm within yourself. Let my voice become louder than the winds. Let my promises become stronger than your doubts. Let my love settle over your heart like gentle rain upon dry ground. I am not only leading you through difficult seasons, I am transforming the way you walk through them. So be still for a moment. Breathe deeply in my presence. Release the tension you have been carrying. You do not need to know every answer today. You do not need to solve every problem before the sun sets. You only need to remember that I am here. I have not abandoned you. I am holding you steady even when everything around you seems uncertain. My peace is already reaching toward you. Open your heart, receive it, and allow it to become the quiet strength that carries you through every storm until you safely reach the shore I have prepared for you. My beloved child, I know how persuasive fear can seem. It speaks with urgency. It fills your mind with endless questions and paints pictures of disasters that have not happened. It tells you to stay where you are because the unknown feels too dangerous. It whispers that you are too weak, too late, too broken, or too unqualified to step into the future I have prepared for you. If you listen to fear long enough, it will begin to sound like truth. But I tell you today with all the authority of my everlasting love, fear was never created to guide your life. I alone am your shepherd, and my voice is the one you must follow. There is a difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom listens carefully and walks with discernment. Fear refuses to move because it imagines defeat before the journey has even begun. Wisdom draws you closer to me. Fear pushes you away from trusting me. Wisdom opens your heart to my direction. Fear closes your heart until all you can see are obstacles. My beloved child, do not confuse the loudness of fear with the certainty of truth. Fear often shouts, but my truth remains unshaken even when it speaks in a gentle whisper. Think about a traveler standing before a bridge that stretches across a deep valley. From a distance, the bridge appears fragile. The traveler begins imagining every possible danger. What if it cannot hold me? What if I fall? What if I should turn back? Fear creates countless stories without taking a single step. But when the traveler finally walks forward, each step reveals the strength that had always been there. The bridge was never weak. Only the traveler's confidence was. So it is with many moments in your life. Before you obey my direction, fear convinces you that you will fail. Before you speak with courage, fear predicts rejection. Before you begin again after disappointment, fear reminds you only of your past mistakes. Yet when you choose to trust me instead of fear, you discover that my grace has already gone before you. What seemed impossible from a distance becomes possible because you are no longer walking alone. Do you remember the countless times you worried about something that never happened? You spent hours, perhaps even days, carrying imaginary burdens. Your heart became tired from fighting battles that existed only within your thoughts. Fear has a way of borrowing tomorrow's troubles and placing them upon today's shoulders. It steals today's joy without changing tomorrow in the slightest. That is why I invite you to live with me in the present, where my grace is always sufficient. My beloved child, courage does not mean the absence of fear. Courage means choosing to trust me even when fear tries to follow you. Some of the bravest moments of your life will not feel dramatic. They will be quiet decisions made within your heart. Choosing forgiveness when resentment seems easier. Choosing hope when disappointment surrounds you. Choosing to pray when silence feels discouraging. Choosing to take one faithful step even while your hands tremble. Every act of trust is an act of courage, and I delight in each one. Never believe the lie that I only work through those who appear fearless. Throughout your journey, I have often chosen those who felt weak so that my strength would become unmistakably clear. I do not wait for perfect confidence before I call you forward. I ask only for a willing heart. Bring me your trembling hands, and I will steady them. Bring me your uncertain steps, and I will guide them. Bring me your anxious thoughts, and I will replace them with my promises. There will be moments when fear returns, because it rarely leaves quietly. It may remind you of old failures. It may point toward uncertain circumstances. It may even disguise itself as common sense. But whenever fear speaks, pause and ask yourself, does this voice lead me closer to my Father's love or farther away from trusting Him? My voice always leads you toward hope, peace, wisdom, and life. I never lead my beloved children into despair. You are stronger than you realize, not because of your own ability, but because my Spirit is with you. You have survived seasons you once believed would destroy you. You have overcome battles that seemed impossible when they first began. Each time I carried you farther than you thought you could go. Those victories were not accidents. They were reminders that my faithfulness has always been greater than your fear. So lift your eyes from the shadows and fix them upon me. Do not allow fear to write the story of your future. Let faith become the voice you answer. Let my promises become the foundation beneath your feet. Walk forward even if your steps feel small. Speak with kindness even when the world encourages bitterness. Continue believing even when you can't yet see the outcome. I am already waiting for you in the places where fear says you should never go. My beloved child, the future does not belong to fear. It belongs to the one who created you, loves you, and walks beside you every step of the way. Take my hand. Leave your fears behind. Together we will move forward, and you will discover that every step taken in trust becomes another testimony of my unfailing love and my faithful guidance through every season of your life. My beloved child, there are moments in your life that still confuse you. You remember opportunities that slipped through your hands, prayers that seemed to receive no answer, relationships that ended unexpectedly, and dreams that faded just when they appeared within reach. Even now, part of your heart wonders why certain doors closed despite your sincere hope and effort. You question whether I had heard your prayers. You wondered if those closed doors were signs of rejection or failure. But today I want you to see them through my eyes. Not every closed door was a loss. Many of them were acts of my protection. It is difficult for you to celebrate what you do not understand. When something you desired disappears, your first response is often grief. You naturally focus on what you can no longer have. Yet you cannot always see what I prevented. You see the door that remained shut, but I see the path beyond it. I know where it would have led. I know the pain it could have caused. I know the burdens it might have placed upon your heart. Because my vision reaches beyond today, my love sometimes says no when your heart longs to hear yes. Imagine a loving parent walking beside a young child through a busy city. The child suddenly sees something colorful across the street and begins running toward it without noticing the traffic rushing by. The parent immediately reaches out, holds the child back, and refuses to let go. In that moment, the child may cry in frustration. The child does not understand why the parent stopped them from reaching what seemed so wonderful. But the parent's refusal was not cruelty. It was protection. The child could only see the colorful object. The parent could see the danger hidden between them. My beloved child, there have been times when you stood before doors that looked beautiful from where you were standing. You prayed for them to open. You believed they would solve your problems or fulfill your deepest desires. Yet I saw beyond appearances. I saw conversations that would wound your spirit. I saw opportunities that would quietly pull you away from the purpose I designed for you. I saw relationships that would drain your peace instead of nurturing your heart. I saw pressures you were never meant to carry. Because I love you completely, I closed doors that would have harmed you, even though you could not understand my reasons at the time. Do not mistake my protection for my rejection. Those are not the same. When I close a door, it is not because I delight in disappointing you. It is because I refuse to allow temporary desires to destroy eternal purposes. My plans for you are too precious to be shaped only by what seems attractive in the moment. There are blessings that appear ordinary at first but lead to lasting joy. There are also opportunities that appear exciting, but slowly steal your peace. I know the difference, even when you cannot. Think back over your journey. There were seasons when you felt heartbroken because something did not work out. You believed your story had fallen apart. Yet months or years later, you looked back and quietly realized that what once felt like your greatest disappointment became one of your greatest blessings. Had that door remained open, you would never have walked through the better one I prepared. What once looked like loss became the beginning of a greater path. That was my hand leading you even when you thought I was delaying you. I know there are still some closed doors that continue to trouble your heart. Perhaps you still carry unanswered questions. Perhaps you still wonder what might have happened if events had unfolded differently. My beloved child, release those questions into my care. Do not spend your future living inside the memories of doors that no longer belong to your journey. If I have closed them, it is because your future does not live behind them. Trust that I am not only closing doors, I am also preparing new ones. While your attention hath been fixed on what ended, I have been quietly arranging what is about to begin. I have been working in places you cannot yet see. I have been preparing people you have not yet met, opportunities you have not yet imagined, and moments that will reveal my faithfulness in ways that exceed your expectations. My hands are never idle. When one chapter ends, I am already writing the next with perfect wisdom. So let go of the bitterness that whispers you missed your only chance. Let go of the regret that tells you your best days are behind you. Those voices do not come from me. I am the God of new beginnings. I am the one who turns endings into fresh opportunities and disappointments into unexpected blessings. Nothing that I have planned for you can be stolen by a closed door. My beloved child, stop standing outside doors I have already closed. Turn your face toward me instead. Walk with confidence, knowing that every step I guide is covered by my wisdom and my love. The doors I have closed protected you from what you could not see, and the doors I will open will lead you exactly where you need to be. Trust my heart, even when you cannot yet understand my ways, because my love has always been leading you toward something far better than you ever imagined for yourself. My beloved child, there is something I want you to remember whenever uncertainty begins to fill your heart. Long before you arrive at tomorrow, I am already there. Before you take your next step, I have already prepared the ground beneath your feet. Before you speak your next prayer, I already know the answer that will bring the greatest good into your life. You often worry because you can only see the moment you are standing in. But I see every moment at once. I have gone ahead of you, and I am preparing the way even now. You may think your future depends only on your own strength, your own decisions, or your own opportunities. You wonder if you are capable enough, wise enough, or prepared enough to face what lies ahead. Yet I want to lift your eyes beyond your own ability. Your future is not resting only in your hands. It rests securely within mine. While you have been praying for direction, I have already been arranging circumstances. While you have been waiting for answers, I have already been preparing opportunities. Nothing catches me by surprise because every step of your journey unfolds beneath my loving care. Imagine a master builder who begins constructing a beautiful home. Before anyone sees walls rise above the ground, countless hours of work have already taken place. The foundation has been measured with precision. The materials have been gathered. Every beam has been chosen for its purpose. To those passing by, it may appear that nothing is happening. They see an empty piece of land and assume there is no progress. Yet the builder knows exactly what is taking shape beneath the surface. My beloved child, this is often how I work within your life. You sometimes believe that because you cannot see immediate results, nothing is changing. But beneath the surface, I am laying foundations that will support blessings greater than you can presently imagine. I am preparing conversations that have not yet happened. I am moving hearts you have not yet met. I am creating opportunities that are still hidden beyond the horizon. My work continues even when your eyes cannot detect it. There are people whose paths will cross yours at exactly the right moment. There are words of encouragement that will arrive just when your strength begins to fade. There are answers that will come after seasons of patient waiting. None of these moments are accidental. I am weaving together details that seem unrelated today but will one day reveal the beauty of my perfect design. What appears to you as coincidence is often my quiet guidance unfolding with gentle precision. Do not become discouraged because you cannot see every piece falling into place. When a tapestry is being woven, the back often appears tangled and confusing. Those threads cross in unexpected directions. The design seems impossible to understand. But the master weaver never loses sight of the finished picture. Only when the tapestry is turned over does its beauty become visible. In the same way, many parts of your life may seem confusing now, but I have never lost sight of the masterpiece I am creating through your journey. Sometimes I prepare blessings by first preparing your heart. Other times I prepare your heart by allowing you to wait for the blessing. Both are acts of my love. If I gave you everything before you were ready, you might treasure the gift more than the giver. But when you walk with me through seasons of growth, your heart learns to value my presence above every earthly reward. Then, when the blessing finally arrives, it becomes an expression of my goodness rather than the foundation of your happiness. My beloved child, stop believing that you are standing still simply because you cannot see movement. Seeds do not stop growing because they remain beneath the soil. Rivers do not cease flowing because they disappear beneath the earth for a season. My work often becomes strongest in places hidden from human eyes. What I am doing within you today is preparing you for what I will do through you tomorrow. When discouragement whispers that nothing will ever change, answer it with trust. When impatience tells you that you have been forgotten, Remember my promises. I have never abandoned a work that I began. I do not leave my plans unfinished. Every promise I have spoken over your life remains alive within my heart, even if you cannot yet see its fulfillment. The calendar of heaven has never lost your name. So continue walking faithfully. Continue praying even when answers seem delayed. Continue showing kindness even when others fail to understand you. Continue believing even when the evidence around you appears small. Every act of faith becomes another step into the future I have already prepared. My beloved child, I am already waiting for you in the next chapter of your story. The doors, the people, the opportunities, the strength, and the grace you will need are not being created at the last moment. They are already being prepared by my loving hands. You do not have to fear what tomorrow holds because tomorrow is already held by me. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that wherever I lead you, my provision has arrived before you, my wisdom goes before you, and my unfailing love will never leave your side. My beloved child, you have traveled with me through many thoughts and many questions, and now I want to teach you one truth that will steady your heart for every season still ahead. Do not become overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you hope to be. Do not allow your eyes to become fixed on the entire mountain before you when I have only asked you to take the next faithful step. Great journeys are never completed all at once. They are completed one step at a time, one act of trust at a time, one moment of obedience at a time. Sometimes you believe that if you cannot solve every problem today, then you have already failed. You imagine that progress only counts when it is dramatic and visible. But I delight in the small steps that no one else notices. I see the quiet prayer you whisper before beginning your day. I see the decision to forgive when bitterness feels easier. I see the courage it takes to rise after disappointment instead of giving up. These moments may seem small to the world, but they are precious to me because they reveal a heart that continues to trust my guidance. Think of a little child learning to walk while holding a loving father's hand. The child does not worry about reaching the destination miles away. The child simply focuses on the next step because the father's hand provides security. If the child stumbles, the father gently lifts them. If the child becomes tired, the father carries them for a while. The journey continues not because the child possesses great strength, but because the father never lets go. My beloved child, that is how I walk with you. I have never expected you to carry yourself through every challenge alone. I have only asked you to keep your hand in mine. When you stumble, I lift you. When you become weary, I strengthen you. When confusion clouds your mind, I illuminate the next step. You do not need to understand every detail of tomorrow. You only need to trust me with today. There will be moments when the next step appears ordinary. It may simply be choosing hope instead of despair. It may be speaking words of kindness when your heart has been wounded. It may be waiting patiently instead of forcing open a door I have not yet opened. Never underestimate the power of ordinary obedience. Small seeds become mighty trees. Tiny streams become great rivers. Faithful steps, repeated day after day, shape a life that reflects my love and my wisdom. Do not become discouraged because someone else's journey appears faster than yours. I am not measuring your life by comparison. I'm leading you according to the unique purpose I placed within you before you were born. Every lesson, every delay, every blessing, and every challenge has been woven together with perfect care. If you remain close to me, you will arrive exactly where I intend you to be. Whenever your heart begins to race ahead into tomorrow, gently return your thoughts to my presence. Ask yourself, what is the next faithful step my Father is asking me to take? You will often find that my guidance is simpler than your fears suggest. I rarely overwhelm my children with impossible demands. Instead, I lead them one step at a time until they suddenly realize they have traveled farther than they ever imagined. So do not fear the journey before you. Do not become paralyzed by the size of your dreams or the weight of your circumstances. Keep walking with me. Trust me in today's decision, today's challenge, today's opportunity, and today's act of faith. As you continue placing one step after another into my hands, you will discover that I have been guiding every moment all along. My beloved child, before we continue, hear my heart. If this message has been strengthening your spirit, let it become a river that reaches many more weary hearts. My word declares to you, give, and it will be given to you, and I speak that promise over every willing heart that responds in faith. When you choose to support this mission through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift through the link in the video description or the QR code shown in this video, you are helping my light reach someone who is praying for hope at this very moment. I am inviting you to sow into a harvest of restored lives, comforted souls, and renewed faith. You not see your gift as a donation, see it as a seed placed into ground that I can multiply. As you release what I have placed in your hand, I will breathe upon your generosity and use it for my glory. I will remember every cheerful giver and pour fresh strength, peace, and provision into their journey. Do not delay the act of obedience that I have placed upon your heart today. Let your giving become a testimony that my love continues to flow through willing hands. Rise in faith, sow with joy, and become part of the harvest I am bringing forth. My beloved child, I know there have been days when you believe your best moments were already behind you. You looked at what was lost instead of what was still possible. You remembered the dreams that faded, the opportunities that slipped away, and the prayers that seemed to remain unanswered. Little by little, disappointment tried to convince you that nothing new could grow from the place where your heart had been broken. But I want you to lift your eyes and hear my voice today. A new beginning is closer than you think. Do not believe that because one chapter has ended, your story has reached its conclusion. I am the author of your life, and I never stop writing while my beloved child is still walking with me. There are pages you have already read, pages filled with both joy and sorrow, victory and struggle. Yet there are also pages you have not yet turned. Those pages are not empty. They are already filled with my purpose, my grace, and my faithful promises waiting to unfold at the perfect time. Think about the darkness just before dawn. During the final hours of the night, it often feels as though morning will never come. The shadows seem deep, and silence covers the earth. Yet while everything appears unchanged, the sun is already rising beyond the horizon. The light is moving toward the world even before human eyes can see its first rays. Then, almost suddenly, the sky begins to change. Colors appear where darkness once ruled, and a new day quietly announces its arrival. My beloved child, many seasons in your life are like those final moments before sunrise. You have mistaken the darkness for permanence when it was only temporary. You have assumed that because you cannot yet see the light, it must not be coming. But I tell you with certainty that I am already bringing the dawn toward your life. Hope is not a distant dream. It is moving toward you even now. My promises are advancing, even when your circumstances seem still. Do not allow yesterday's disappointments to define tomorrow's possibilities. The pain you experienced was real, and I have never asked you to pretend otherwise. I have seen every tear and every wound. Yet I refuse to let your past become the prison of your future. I am able to bring beauty from ashes, strength from weakness, and purpose from pain. What seemed like the end of one dream may become the beginning of something greater than you ever imagined. There is a gardener who walks through an orchard after winter has passed. To someone unfamiliar with the seasons, the trees may appear lifeless. Their branches are bare, and no fruit can be seen. But the gardener does not become discouraged because he understands what others cannot see. He knows that life is already stirring within the branches. The season has changed, even before the blossoms appear. Soon, what looked empty will become full of color, fragrance, and abundant fruit. My beloved child, I am that gardener, and I know exactly what season your soul is entering. If I tell you that new life is coming, you can trust my words even before you see the evidence. I am not limited by what appears possible to human eyes. I specialize in bringing hope where others expect despair. I breathe life into weary hearts. I restore dreams that seemed forgotten. I open doors no human hand could unlock. Perhaps you have become afraid to hope again because disappointment has visited your heart too many times. You fear that believing once more will only lead to greater pain if things do not change. But hope placed in me is never wasted. Even when the journey takes longer than expected, my faithfulness never fails. Every promise I have spoken remains alive. Every purpose I have placed within you remains secure. Nothing that truly belongs to my plan can be destroyed by delay. So begin making room in your heart for expectancy instead of fear. Wake each day believing that I am still working. Speak words of faith instead of surrender. Thank me for blessings that are already on their way, even if they have not yet arrived. This is not pretending that difficulties do not exist. It is choosing to believe that my power is greater than every difficulty you face. My beloved child, I have not brought you this far to leave you standing at the edge of despair. I am leading you into a new season, one step at a time. The road behind you has prepared you for the road ahead. The tears you have cried have watered the ground where new joy will grow. The waiting you have endured has strengthened your heart for the blessings that are drawing near. So do not look backward with regret. Look forward with confidence. Keep your hand in mine and continue walking faithfully. The sunrise is nearer than you realize. The chapter you have been praying for is already beginning to unfold, and when you finally see what I have prepared, you will understand that I was guiding you toward this new beginning all along. My beloved child, there is a voice that has tried for far too long to shape the way you see yourself. It is not my voice, yet it has often become so familiar that you mistake it for truth. It whispers that you are not enough. It reminds you of every failure while remaining silent about every victory. It magnifies your weaknesses and hides the evidence of my faithfulness. It tells you that because you stumbled yesterday, you cannot walk confidently today. But I tell you now with tenderness and certainty, stop listening to the voice of doubt and begin listening to the voice of your loving Father. My voice has never spoken to condemn you into hopelessness. My voice calls you higher. It corrects with love, restores with mercy, and strengthens with truth. The voice of doubt leaves you exhausted, afraid, and discouraged. My voice leaves you hopeful, peaceful, and confident that I am walking beside you. Learn to recognize the difference. Not every thought that enters your mind deserves a place in your heart. That often begins with a single question. What if you fail? What if nothing changes? What if you are not capable? Those questions seem small at first, but when you continue feeding them with your attention, they grow into walls that keep you from stepping into the life I have prepared for you. Doubt rarely announces itself as a lie. Instead, it disguises itself as wisdom, caution, or realism. It tells you that expecting good things will only lead to disappointment. It convinces you that protecting yourself from hope is safer than trusting me. My beloved child, remember a garden that has been carefully planted. Alongside the flowers, small weeds begin to grow. At first, they seem harmless because they are tiny. But if they are left untouched, they slowly spread their roots, stealing water, sunlight, and nourishment from the plants that were meant to flourish. In the same way, doubt begins quietly. If you allow it to remain without bringing it into my presence, it slowly steals your joy, your courage, and your confidence in my promises. This is why I invite you to fill your heart with my truth every day. Whatever you continually receive will eventually shape the way you think. If you constantly rehearse fear, fear will seem natural. If you continually dwell on failure, failure will become your expectation. But if you meditate on my promises, if you remember my faithfulness, and if you allow my words to settle deeply within your soul, then faith will begin to rise where doubt once lived. There have been many moments when you assumed I was disappointed with you because you could not see immediate progress. But I have never measured your life only by visible success. I delight in every sincere step toward me. Even when your faith feels small, I treasure it because it is placed in my hands. I am not searching for perfection. I am looking for a heart that continues to trust me despite uncertainty. Do not allow the opinions of others to become louder than my promises. There will always be people who misunderstand your journey because they cannot see what I am doing within you. Some may speak words that discourage you. Others may doubt the calling I have placed upon your life. But remember this, my beloved child. The one who created you knows you better than anyone else ever could. I see gifts within you that have not yet fully awakened. I see strength that is still developing. I see purpose that is unfolding one faithful step at a time. Whenever doubt begins speaking again, pause before believing it. Bring that thought before me. Ask yourself, does this agree with what my Father says about me? If the answer is no, then release it. Replace it with my truth. When doubt says, you are alone, remember that I have promised never to leave you. When doubt says, there is no hope, remember that I am already preparing your future. When doubt says, you cannot continue, remember that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. My beloved child, your mind is like the doorway to your heart. Guard it carefully. Not because I want you to live in fear, but because I desire you to live in freedom. Every day you have the opportunity to decide which voice you will follow. You can continue listening to fear, regret, and uncertainty, or you can choose to trust the gentle, faithful voice that has loved you from the beginning. Today, I invite you to make the choice again. Turn away from the endless arguments of doubt. Stop allowing yesterday's failures to speak louder than my eternal promises. Lift your eyes toward me. Listen carefully to my words. I call you my beloved child. I call you chosen. I call you deeply loved. I call you into hope, not despair, into courage, not fear, into peace, not confusion. As you continue walking with me, my truth will become stronger than every lie that once held you captive. The voice of doubt will grow quieter, not because life becomes easier, but because you will know my heart more deeply than ever before. And once you truly know my voice, no other voice will have the power to define who you are again. My beloved child, I want you to see yourself through my eyes, not through the changing opinions of the world, not through the mistakes you have made, and not through the disappointments you have experienced. For too long, you have allowed your value to be measured by achievements, approval, success, or failure. You have believed that if you performed well, you were worthy of love, and if you fell short, you somehow became less valuable. But that has never been my truth. Before you accomplished anything, before you overcame a single obstacle, before you even took your first breath, I already love you completely. Your worth has never been earned. It has always been given by me. I created you with intention. You are not an accident of chance, nor are you a forgotten soul wandering through life without purpose. Every part of your life has been seen by me from the beginning. I formed your heart with gifts that no one else possesses in exactly the same way. I placed within you a unique calling, a distinct voice, and a beautiful purpose that reflects my goodness. Even the qualities you struggle to appreciate about yourself can become instruments of blessing when they are surrendered into my hands. There have been moments when you compared your life with the lives of others. You looked at their accomplishments, their confidence, or their opportunities, and quietly concluded that you were somehow less important. Comparison has stolen joy from your heart because it has caused you to forget that I never created you to become someone else. I created you to become the fullest expression of the person I designed you to be. A flower does not compete with a tree, and a river does not envy the mountains. Each fulfills its purpose by becoming exactly what it was created to be. Imagine a master artist standing before a blank canvas. Every color is chosen with care. Every brushstroke has intention. Some areas require bold colors, while others require gentle shades. To an observer who only sees one small corner of the painting, the design may appear incomplete or confusing. But the artist sees the entire masterpiece long before it is finished. My beloved child, you are that masterpiece in progress. There are places in your life where my work is still unfolding. Do not judge the beauty of the painting before the artist has completed it. You sometimes become discouraged because you focus on what still needs to change within you. You notice your weaknesses before you notice your growth. You remember your failures more easily than your victories. Yet I see every quiet transformation taking place within your heart. I see greater patience growing where anger once ruled. I see compassion developing where pain once hardened your spirit. I see courage rising where fear once held you captive. These changes may seem small to you, but they are precious to me because they reveal that my work is alive within you. Never believe that your purpose depends upon perfection. If that were true, no one could fulfill the calling I have placed upon their life. I have always delighted in working through ordinary people who simply trust me. Your limitations do not frighten me because my strength is revealed most clearly where human ability reaches its end. When you offer me your willing heart, I can accomplish far more than you could ever achieve by relying only upon yourself. There may be voices from your past that still attempt to define you. Perhaps someone spoke words that wounded your spirit. Perhaps you were told that you would never succeed, never change, or never become enough. Those words may have followed you for years, shaping the way you think about yourself. But those voices do not have the authority to determine your identity. I alone am your creator, and my voice carries the final word over your life. What I say about you is greater than what anyone else has ever spoken. When I look at you, I do not see only your mistakes. I see the person you are becoming. I see the dreams I have planted within your heart. I see the compassion you will one day share with others because of the trials you have endured. I see the wisdom that is growing through every challenge. I see a beloved child who is being shaped by my loving hands into someone who will reflect my light in ways they cannot yet imagine. So stop speaking about yourself as though you have no value. Stop believing that your purpose has been lost because your journey has included hardship. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Mighty trees grow through seasons of wind and rain. Strong faith is developed through daily trust. None of these processes diminish their beauty. They reveal it. My beloved child, stand before me without shame. Lift your head, not because you have become perfect, but because you are deeply loved. Walk with quiet confidence, knowing that your identity is secure in my heart. You do not have to chase worth because I have already placed it within you. You do not have to earn my acceptance because it has always been yours. Continue becoming the person I created you to be, one faithful step at a time, and you will discover that the greatest purpose of your life is not simply what you accomplish, but the way my love shines through you wherever you go. My beloved child, there are wounds within your heart that few people have ever seen. You have learned how to smile while carrying sorrow, how to speak kindly while hiding disappointment, and how to keep moving forward even when your soul feels exhausted. Many around you believe they know your story because they have seen your outward life, but they have not witnessed the silent battles that have taken place behind closed doors. They have not heard the prayers you whispered through tears or felt the ache that lingered after everyone else had gone home. But I have. I have been with you through every moment, and not one pain has escaped my loving gaze. You have sometimes believed that if others truly knew how deeply you had been hurt, they might not understand you. So you built walls around your heart, hoping those walls would protect you from further pain. At first, those walls seemed to bring safety. But over time, they also kept joy from entering as freely as it once did. They made it harder to trust, harder to hope, and sometimes even harder to believe that complete healing was possible. My beloved child, I do not ask you to tear those walls down by your own strength. I ask you to invite me inside them, because I heal what you place into my hands. There are wounds caused by harsh words that have echoed in your thoughts for years. There are disappointments that still visit your memory without warning. There are betrayals that made you question whether you could ever trust again. There are losses that left empty places within your heart that no human comfort could completely fill. You have carried these burdens quietly, believing that time alone would remove the pain. Yet some hurts require more than the passing of days. They require the gentle touch of my presence. Imagine a skilled healer caring for someone with a deep wound. The healer does not ignore the injury simply because it is painful to examine. Neither does the healer rush the process. Every wound is cleaned with patience. Every bandage is placed with care. Healing takes time, but every gentle act brings restoration closer. In the same way, I never hurry the healing of your heart. I know exactly where the pain remains hidden, and I approach every wounded place with tenderness, never with harshness. My beloved child, you do not need to pretend before me. You do not have to hide your questions, your sadness, or your moments of weakness. I already know every corner of your heart, and my love has never been diminished by anything I have found there. The tears you tried to hold back have always mattered to me. The disappointments you struggled to explain have always been understood by me. Even when words failed you, I knew what your heart was trying to say. Sometimes you wonder why healing seems slower than you hoped. You expected one moment of prayer to remove every scar, yet you still feel reminders of what happened. Do not become discouraged by this. A broken bone may be set in a single day, yet it grows stronger through a season of patient restoration. In the same way, I often begin healing in a moment, but I continue strengthening your heart day by day. Every conversation we share, every moment you choose trust over fear, every step you take with me becomes part of that healing journey. Do not mistake scars for failure. A scar is not proof that I abandoned you. It is evidence that I brought you through what once threatened to destroy you. The places where you have been deeply wounded can one day become places of extraordinary compassion. Because you have known sorrow, you will understand those who are grieving. Because you have experienced disappointment, you will know how to encourage the discouraged. Because I have comforted you, you will become a source of comfort to others. I never waste pain when it is surrendered into my hands. There may be people who never apologize for what they did. There may be questions that never receive complete answers. There may be chapters of your life that remain difficult to understand. But your healing does not depend upon another person's response. It depends upon your willingness to keep bringing your heart into my presence. I am able to restore peace even where explanations never come. I am able to fill empty places with my love until bitterness no longer has room to remain. My beloved child, stop believing that you must carry hidden pain forever. You were not created to live beneath the weight of wounds that I desire to heal. Bring them to me again, even if you have brought them before. My patience has no limit, and my compassion never grows weary. Every time you come to me honestly, you move one step closer to freedom. So rest your heart in my presence today. Let my love reach the places you have guarded for so long. Allow my peace to settle over memories that still trouble you. I am not asking you to erase your past. I am transforming it. I am taking what was broken and gently restoring it until your heart can beat with hope once again. One day you will look back and realize that the deepest wounds became the very places where my love shone most brightly. Until that day, keep walking with me. I will not leave you halfway through your healing. I will remain beside you, patiently, faithfully, and lovingly, until the work I have begun within your heart is beautifully complete. My beloved child, I know there are moments when you look behind you and wonder what your life might have been if certain things had never happened. You remember opportunities that were lost, relationships that ended, dreams that seemed to disappear, and years that feel as though they slipped through your hands. Regret has a quiet way of returning when you least expect it. It whispers that you have gone too far, waited too long, or made too many mistakes for your future to become beautiful again. But I want you to hear my voice above every whisper of regret. I am the God who restores. Nothing surrendered into my hands is beyond my power to redeem. You often think of restoration as simply getting back what was lost. But my restoration reaches deeper than that. I do not merely return you to where you once were. I transform you into someone stronger, wiser, and more deeply rooted in my love than before. The places that once seemed ruined become the very places where my glory shines most clearly. I do not erase your story. I redeem it. Imagine an ancient city whose walls have fallen into ruin. Time has worn away its strength. Stones lie scattered across the ground, and those who pass by assume that nothing beautiful can ever stand there again. Yet a wise builder arrives. He does not despise the broken stones. He carefully gathers them, cleans them, and places them one by one into a new foundation. What once appeared to be nothing more than rubble becomes part of a stronger and more beautiful structure than before. My beloved child, there have been seasons when your heart felt like those scattered stones. Disappointment, loss, failure, and sorrow seemed to leave everything in pieces. You wondered whether your confidence, your joy, or your purpose could ever be restored. But I have never looked upon your brokenness with despair. I have always seen the masterpiece hidden within it. While you saw fragments, I saw possibilities. While you saw endings, I saw new beginnings waiting to emerge. There are things you cannot recover by your own strength, and I have never expected you to. Some relationships may never return to what they once were. Certain years cannot be relived. Some opportunities belong only to the past. Yet my restoration is never limited by what time has taken away. I can open doors that are greater than the ones that closed. I can place new dreams within your heart that carry even deeper purpose. I can bring peace where answers never came, and joy where sorrow once ruled. My ability to restore is not confined by human limits. Perhaps you have blamed yourself for choices you wish you could change. You replay conversations in your mind. You wonder what would have happened if only you had acted differently. My beloved child, while it is wise to learn from the past, it is never my desire for you to become imprisoned by it. Regret teaches lessons, but it must never become your home. I have called you to move forward with me, not to remain trapped in yesterday. Do you remember how a forest recovers after a wildfire? At first, the land appears lifeless. The trees stand blackened, and the ground seems empty. Yet beneath the surface, seeds remain hidden in the soil. Rain begins to fall. Sunlight returns. Slowly, tiny green shoots appear where destruction once ruled. Over time, life returns with remarkable beauty. What seemed completely lost begins to flourish again. That is what my love accomplishes within the human heart. There may be places that appear beyond repair, but I see life where you see only ashes. I know how to awaken hope that has slept for years. I know how to breathe courage into weary souls. I know how to restore laughter to hearts that have forgotten what joy feels like. I have been doing this since the beginning, and I will continue doing it in your life. Do not believe that your greatest years have already passed. Your future is not determined by what you lost, but by the one who walks with you now. Every day you spend with me becomes another opportunity for restoration. Every prayer offered with sincerity becomes another opening through which my grace flows. Every act of trust allows me to rebuild another part of your heart. There will come a day when you look back over this season and realize that I was restoring more than circumstances. I was restoring your confidence, your peace, your hope, and your understanding of my faithfulness. You will recognize that the greatest miracle was not simply what changed around you, but what changed within you. Your heart will become more secure because it has learned to rest in my unfailing love. So release your regrets into my hands. Stop carrying ruins that I am already rebuilding. Stop mourning dreams that I have replaced with greater purpose. Trust that my plans are not diminished by your past. I am able to weave every chapter, even the painful ones, into a testimony of my goodness. My beloved child, I am still gathering every broken stone of your story. I am still rebuilding what seemed impossible to restore. I am still breathing life into places you believed would remain empty forever. Walk with me one more day. Trust me one more step. The work of restoration has already begun, and when it is complete, you will see that my grace has accomplished far more than your regrets ever imagined possible. My beloved child, there is a burden that many carry in silence, and perhaps you have carried it too. It is the burden of believing that your past has the final word over your future. You remember the moments when you fell short. You remember the decisions you wish you could undo. Sometimes those memories return without warning, and they whisper that you are forever defined by what happened yesterday. They tell you that because you failed once, you will always fail. They tell you that because you made mistakes, you are somehow unworthy of my love. But I want you to hear me clearly today. My grace is greater than your past, and my mercy is deeper than every failure you have ever known. My beloved child, I have never asked you to carry the weight of forgiven things. Yet so often, you continue holding burdens that I have already invited you to release. You return to old memories as though they are chains around your heart, forgetting that I came to break chains, not strengthen them. I do not delight in reminding you of who you once were. I delight in revealing who you are becoming through my love. Imagine someone walking through a heavy rainstorm. Their clothes become soaked, and mud clings to their feet. When they finally arrive home, they are welcomed inside. Clean water is prepared. Fresh garments are laid before them. Yet instead of receiving what has been freely given, they choose to remain standing in their wet clothing because they cannot stop thinking about the storm they walked through. My beloved child, this is what happens when you refuse to receive my grace. I have already prepared cleansing, renewal, and peace, but you continue wearing the garments of guilt that I never asked you to keep. There is a difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction gently turns your heart back toward me. It brings hope because it reminds you that change is possible. Condemnation, however, tells you there is no hope. It pushes you into shame and convinces you to hide from the very one who desires to restore you. Condemnation does not come from my heart. My love always invites you closer, never farther away. I know every chapter of your story. I know the decisions you regret. I know the words you wish you had never spoken and the opportunities you wish you had embraced with greater wisdom. Yet none of these things surprised me. Before you ever stumbled, I already knew that my grace would be sufficient. Before you ever cried out for mercy, my heart was already reaching toward you with compassion. My love has never depended upon your flawless performance. If it did, no one could stand before me. My love flows from who I am, not from what you have accomplished. Think of a river flowing through a valley after a long season of drought. Thus has settled everywhere. The ground appears cracked and lifeless. But when the river arrives, it does not ask whether the earth deserves water. It simply flows, bringing life wherever it goes. Seeds that seem dead begin to awaken. Green shoots appear. What looked beyond recovery slowly becomes vibrant again. My grace is like that living river. It reaches the driest places of your soul and brings life where guilt once left only emptiness. Perhaps there are moments when you struggle to forgive yourself, even after asking for my forgiveness. You think that continuing to punish yourself somehow proves your sincerity. But my beloved child, self-condemnation cannot accomplish what my grace already has. If I have extended mercy to you, why continue refusing the gift I freely offer? Accepting my forgiveness is not pride. It is humility. It is trusting that my sacrifice, my love, and my promises are greater than your feelings of unworthiness. Do not allow shame to become the lens through which you see your future. Shame always looks backward. Grace always calls you forward. Shame says, stay where you are because you will never change. Grace says, rise and walk with me because I am making all things new within you. Which voice will you believe? The answer to that question will shape the direction of your journey. My beloved child, there are people waiting to receive encouragement that only you will be able to give one day. The compassion growing within your heart has been shaped through the very struggles you now regret. I will use what once caused you pain to become a source of healing for others. I waste nothing that is surrendered into my hands. Even your failures, when brought before me with an honest heart, become places where my mercy shines more brightly. So stop introducing yourself to your future through the language of your past. You are not merely the person who failed. You are my beloved child. You are not simply the sum of your mistakes. You are the one I continue to shape, strengthen, and lead. Walk forward with your head lifted, not because you have never fallen, but because my hand has lifted you again and again. Come closer to me today. Lay every memory, every regret, and every hidden shame at my feet. Let my grace wash over your heart like gentle rain upon thirsty ground. Receive the freedom I have been offering all along. You do not have to earn it. You only need to trust my love enough to receive it. My grace is greater than your past, my mercy is stronger than your failures, and my plans for you remain full of hope. Walk with me, my beloved child, and leave yesterday where it belongs, because I am leading you into a future that my grace has already prepared. My beloved child, I know there have been seasons when you wondered why the journey has been so difficult. You have asked why certain battles lasted longer than you expected, why some prayers required patient waiting, and why challenges seemed to appear just when you thought life would become easier. There were moments when you believed the pressure surrounding you was evidence that something had gone wrong. But I want you to see your life from a higher perspective. I'm strengthening you even now. What feels like pressure is often preparation. What feels like delay is often development. What feels like weakness is becoming the place where my strength will shine most clearly. Do not mistake the process for punishment. I have never delighted in watching my beloved child struggle. My desire has always been to shape your heart into someone who can carry the blessings, responsibilities, and purpose I have prepared for you. There are qualities that cannot be formed through comfort alone. Patience grows while waiting. Compassion grows through suffering. Wisdom grows through experience. Steadfast faith grows by trusting me when the path ahead is still hidden. Think about the work of a skilled refiner who takes raw gold from the earth. At first glance, the gold appears dull because it is mixed with many other elements. The refiner does not reject it because it lacks beauty. Instead, he carefully places it into the fire. The heat is not meant to destroy the gold but to separate it from everything that does not belong. With patience and careful attention, the impurities rise to the surface and are removed. What remains is stronger, purer, and more radiant than before. My beloved child, there have been fires in your life that you wished could have been avoided. Yet I have remained beside you through every one of them. I have never abandoned you to face hardship alone. Even when you could not feel my presence, my hand was upon you, protecting you, sustaining you, and quietly shaping your character. The fire did not come to consume the person I created you to be. It came to remove the fears, false beliefs, and unnecessary burdens that were preventing you from fully becoming that person. You sometimes judge your progress by how comfortable you feel, but growth rarely announces itself through comfort. Consider how a seed must first break open before it becomes a tree. If the seed could speak, it might believe it was falling apart. Yet what appears to be breaking is actually the beginning of new life. In the same way, there have been seasons when your old ways of thinking were being broken apart so that my truth could take deeper root within you. What felt like loss was often transformation. My beloved child, I see strength growing within you that you have not yet recognized. The very challenges you thought would defeat you have quietly taught you endurance. The disappointments that once filled you with despair have given you compassion for others who are hurting. The prayers that seemed unanswered have taught you to trust my heart even when you cannot understand my timing. These are treasures that cannot be purchased or borrowed. They are formed only through walking faithfully with me. Do not become discouraged because you still have moments of weakness. Weakness does not mean that my work has failed. It reminds you that your strength has never depended entirely upon yourself. Every time you acknowledge your need for me, you make room for my power to sustain you. A branch does not produce fruit by struggling independently from the vine. It bears fruit because it remains connected to its source of life. Stay connected to me, my beloved child, and you will discover strength that does not come from human effort alone. There will be days when you look back and hardly recognize the person you used to be. You will notice that situations which once overwhelmed you no longer steal your peace so easily. You will respond with patience where you once reacted in anger. You will choose hope where fear once controlled your thoughts. These changes will not happen because you became perfect overnight. They will happen because day after day, you allowed my spirit to quietly shape your heart. Do not despise slow growth. The tallest trees are not built in a single season. Their roots deepen year after year until they can withstand storms that would uproot weaker plants. I am growing deep roots within you. I'm establishing your faith where no strong wind can easily shake it. Others may only see the visible branches, but I rejoice over the unseen foundation that is becoming stronger every day. When you feel weary, remember that I have never asked you to finish the journey in your own strength. Come to me again. Rest in my presence. Allow me to renew your heart. I do not grow tired of strengthening my children. My supply of grace never runs dry. My patience never reaches its limit. Every morning, I offer fresh mercy and new strength for the road ahead. So do not fear the process you are walking through today. Trust that every challenge I allow is being woven into something beautiful. I am not merely helping you survive this season. I am preparing you to flourish in the seasons still to come. The person you are becoming is stronger than the person you once were, not because life has become easier, but because you have learned to lean more deeply upon me. My beloved child, I am strengthening you even now. Though you may not yet see the full measure of what I am accomplishing, the work is already taking place. Hold my hand, keep your eyes upon me, and continue walking forward. One day you will look back with gratitude and realize that the very seasons you feared became the places where my greatest work was quietly unfolding within your heart. My beloved child, you have searched for many answers throughout your life. You have asked me to show you the right path, to reveal the future, to remove uncertainty, and to solve the problems that seem too great for your own strength. I have heard every prayer. I have heard every cry of your heart. But today I want to draw your attention to something even more important than the answers you seek. Before I reveal the next step, I desire to deepen your trust in the one who is leading you. The answer you seek begins with trust. It is natural for you to want certainty. You long to know how every situation will unfold before you move forward. You believe that if every question were answered, your heart would finally rest. Yet true peace has never been found in possessing complete information. True peace is found in knowing that the one who guides you is faithful. When you trust me, you discover that my presence becomes more valuable than perfect understanding. Imagine a shepherd leading his flock along a winding mountain path. The sheep cannot see the valleys ahead or the meadows waiting beyond the next hill. They do not understand every turn the shepherd makes. Yet they continue following because they recognize his voice. They have learned through many journeys that his guidance always leads them to safety, nourishment, and rest. Their confidence does not come from understanding the road. It comes from knowing the shepherd. My beloved child, I desire that same confidence to grow within your heart. There are paths you cannot yet understand because you are seeing only a small part of the journey. But I see every step from beginning to end. I know which roads lead to peace and which roads end in disappointment. I know where hidden dangers lie and where unexpected blessings are waiting. When I guide you in a direction that does not immediately make sense, it is never because I am confused. It is because my wisdom extends far beyond what your eyes can presently see. Trust is not built in moments when everything feels easy. Trust grows each time you choose to believe my promises over your fears. Every season of waiting becomes an invitation to know my heart more deeply. Every unanswered question becomes an opportunity to rest in my character rather than your own understanding. The greatest gift I offer you is not merely a solution to your circumstances. It is a relationship in which you learn that I am always worthy of your confidence. There have been times when I answered your prayers differently than you expected. At first, those moments may have seemed disappointing. But as time passed, you began to understand that my wisdom had protected you from outcomes you could not foresee. You realized that what appeared to be unanswered prayer was actually loving guidance. Those experiences were not isolated moments. They were lessons teaching your heart that I can be trusted even when my ways differ from your expectations. Think about a child learning to swim while a loving father stands nearby in the water. The child feels uncertain and reaches out with trembling hands. The father encourages each small movement, remaining close enough to catch the child whenever fear begins to rise. The child does not become confident because the water subtly loses its depth. Confidence grows because the child learns that the father's arms are always there. In the same way, I am teaching you that my presence is more dependable than your circumstances. My beloved child, sometimes you spend so much energy searching for signs that you overlook my daily faithfulness. You ask me for extraordinary evidence while forgetting the quiet miracles I provide each day. I have sustained you through trials you never imagined surviving. I have placed strength within you when your own strength failed. I have opened doors at exactly the right time and closed others out of my loving protection. My faithfulness has surrounded your life far more often than you have recognized. Do not fear placing your future into my hands. There is no safer place for your hopes, your dreams, your family, or your tomorrow. I am not asking you to ignore wisdom or refuse thoughtful decisions. I am inviting you to make every decision while remaining anchored in trust. Let trust become the foundation beneath every prayer, every plan, and every step you take. When trust leads your heart, fear loses its authority. There will still be moments when questions remain. There will still be days when you wish I would explain more than I choose to reveal. During those moments, remember everything I have already shown you about my heart. Remember my patience. Remember my compassion. Remember the countless ways I have carried you through seasons that once seemed impossible. The same faithful Father who guided you then is guiding you now. My beloved child, you do not need to hold tightly to every answer. Hold tightly to me instead. Answers may come gradually, circumstances may change, and seasons may pass, but my love will never fail. My wisdom will never lead you astray. My promises will never lose their power. If you continue trusting me one step at a time, you will discover that the answers you longed for were never meant to replace the relationship I have always desired with you. So come closer once again. Place your questions into my hands. Lay your fears at my feet. Rest your heart in my presence. The answer you seek begins with trust, and trust will always lead you safely into the future I have lovingly prepared for you. My beloved child, I know that one of the greatest struggles you face is wondering what tomorrow will bring. There are quiet moments when your mind begins racing ahead, imagining possibilities that fill your heart with uncertainty. You wonder whether you will have enough strength for what lies ahead. You question whether the path before you will be smooth or difficult. You think about your family, your future, your responsibilities, and the dreams that still remain in your heart. Sometimes those thoughts become so heavy that they steal the peace I intended you to enjoy today. But I want you to hear me with complete confidence. Your future is safe in my hands. Before you ever worried about tomorrow, I had already entered it. Before the next chapter of your life was written in your experience, it was already fully known to me. Nothing that awaits you has escaped my attention. There will never come a day when I suddenly discover something I did not anticipate. I am never surprised, never unprepared, and never uncertain. Because I hold your future, you do not have to carry it upon your own shoulders. You often believe that worrying about tomorrow somehow prepares you for it. Yet worry has never added wisdom to your heart or strength to your soul. It only borrows peace from today without solving the challenges of tomorrow. My beloved child, I did not create you to live beneath the weight of imagined burdens. I created you to walk with me one day at a time, trusting that my grace will meet you wherever the journey leads. Imagine a shepherd leading his flock across wide fields and through narrow valleys. The sheep do not know where the next stream will be found. They do not understand the changing weather or the safest paths through unfamiliar land. Yet they continue following because they know the shepherd walks ahead of them. He has already searched the path. He knows where danger hides and where fresh water waits. His confidence becomes their peace. That is how I care for you. I do not stand behind you, urging you forward without direction. I walk before you. I prepare the path. I remove dangers you never even recognize. I lead you toward places of provision while quietly protecting you from roads that would have brought unnecessary pain. There have already been countless moments in your life when my unseen hand redirected your steps without you realizing it. If I have faithfully guided you until this day, why would I stop now? My beloved child, do not allow uncertainty to convince you that your future is fragile. Your future is not resting upon chance. It is resting within my faithful hands. Even when unexpected events occur, they never take me by surprise. I know how to bring hope from disappointment, opportunity from loss, and purpose from moments that seem confusing. I am able to weave every circumstance together into something meaningful because my wisdom reaches beyond what human understanding can imagine. Perhaps you have been afraid that one wrong decision will destroy everything I have planned for your life. While your choices certainly matter, do not overestimate your ability to undo my purposes. I am a loving Father, not a distant observer waiting for you to fail. When you sincerely seek me, I guide your steps. Even when you make mistakes, my mercy is able to redirect your path. My plans are not so fragile that they crumble the moment you stumble. My grace continues leading you as long as your heart remains open to my voice. There will be seasons when the future appears hidden. During those times, remember all the ways I have carried you through your past. Think of every challenge that once seemed impossible but is now behind you. Remember the doors I opened at exactly the right moment. Remember the strength I provided when you thought you had none left. Those memories are not simply stories from yesterday. They are reminders of my unchanging faithfulness. The God who carried you then is the same God who is holding your tomorrow. Do not let fear write stories that I have never written. Fear imagines endings that my love never intended. It creates storms long before clouds appear. But my promises invite you to rest. They remind you that I am already preparing everything you will need. I will provide wisdom when decisions arise. I will provide strength when challenges come. I will provide comfort when sorrow visits and joy when the season changes. My provision is never late because my love is never absent. My beloved child, there is great freedom in placing your future into my hands each morning. Instead of trying to control every possibility, begin each day by saying, Father, I trust you with what I cannot see. Those simple words open your heart to my peace. They remind you that you were never asked to carry tomorrow alone. You were only invited to walk beside me today. So lift your eyes away from anxious thoughts and fix them upon my faithful heart. Your future is not an unanswered question to me. It is a beautiful story that I am continuing to unfold with wisdom, love, and perfect purpose. Hold my hand without fear. Walk with quiet confidence. Rest in the assurance that wherever tomorrow leads, I will already be there waiting for you. My beloved child, your future is safe because it is held by the one who has loved you from the beginning. Trust me with every unknown, every dream, every unanswered question, and every step still ahead. I will never lead you where my presence cannot sustain you, my wisdom cannot guide you, or my love cannot keep you secure. Continue walking with me, and you will discover that the safest place you will ever be is within my hands. My beloved child, there have been times when you have quietly asked, Father, are you speaking to me? You have longed for clear direction. You have hoped for unmistakable answers. Sometimes you expected my voice to come like thunder, powerful and impossible to ignore. Yet when those dramatic moments did not come, you wondered whether I had become silent. But I want you to know this today. I am always speaking. The question is not whether I am speaking. The question is whether your heart hath become still enough to recognize my voice. The world around you is filled with constant noise. Every day, countless voices compete for your attention. Fear speaks. Worry speaks. The opinions of others speak. Memories speak. Ambition speaks. Disappointment speaks. Each voice tries to pull your heart in a different direction until your thoughts become crowded and your spirit grows weary. In the middle of all that noise, my voice does not strive to overpower every other sound. I gently invite you closer. I speak with the steady confidence of a loving father who knows that his child will eventually recognize him. My beloved child, my voice has always carried peace, even when it calls you into difficult places. I may ask you to take courageous steps, but I never lead you with confusion or despair. My guidance may stretch your faith, yet it will always draw you deeper into trust, hope, and love. If a voice fills your heart with hopelessness, relentless fear, or crushing shame, that voice does not reflect my heart toward you. I correct you with compassion. I lead you with kindness. I strengthen you with truth. Imagine a shepherd calling his sheep across a wide field. Many sounds fill the air. The wind moves through the grass. Birds sing from nearby trees. Other shepherds call to their own flocks. Yet each sheep recognizes the familiar voice it has learned to trust through daily companionship. They follow not because the voice is the loudest, but because it is known. In the same way, you learn to recognize my voice by walking with me day after day. Relationship brings recognition. Do not become discouraged if you are still learning. Just as a child gradually learns the sound of a loving parent's voice, your heart grows more sensitive to mine through daily fellowship. Every moment you spend in prayer, every quiet pause in my presence, every time you reflect upon my promises, your spiritual ears become more attentive. I am patient while you learn. I do not grow frustrated because you ask me to speak again. I delight in drawing my beloved child closer. Often, I speak through the quiet peace I place within your heart. There may be two paths before you that appear equally possible, yet one carries a deep sense of settled trust while the other leaves your spirit restless. Learn not to ignore that gentle peace. It is one of the ways I lovingly guide your steps. At other times, I remind you of truths you already know. A promise returns to your heart at exactly the moment you need it. A conversation brings unexpected wisdom. A door opens with remarkable timing. A burden suddenly becomes lighter as you place it into my hands. These moments are not random. They are often gentle reminders that I am near. There will also be seasons when my guidance seems slower than you desire. During those times, resist the temptation to rush ahead simply because silence feels uncomfortable. Waiting with me is always wiser than running ahead without me. A traveler who patiently waits for the sunrise sees the path clearly. One who rushes through darkness may stumble over what could have easily been avoided. Trust that if I have not yet revealed the next step, it is because I am preparing either the path before you or your heart for what lies ahead. My beloved child, make room for quietness. Your soul cannot continually live at the pace of the world and still hear my gentle whisper clearly. Set aside moments when you simply rest in my presence without demanding immediate answers. Allow your anxious thoughts to settle. Release your endless questions into my care. Sometimes my greatest gift is not a detailed explanation, but the assurance that I am with you. My presence itself becomes the answer your heart truly needs. Remember how many times I have already guided you without your full awareness. Looking back, You can now see how one conversation led to another, how one unexpected delay protected you, and how one small decision opened the way for greater blessings. Those moments were not accidents. I was quietly directing your steps all along. The same faithful guidance continues today, even if you cannot yet trace every detail. So do not fear that you have been forgotten or left without direction. I know exactly where you are. I know exactly where I am leading you. Stay close to me. Fill your heart with my truth. Quiet the voices that compete for your attention, and listen with expectation. My beloved child, I am still speaking. I will continue to guide you with wisdom, peace, and unfailing love. As long as you keep your heart turned toward me, you will never walk this journey alone, because my voice will faithfully lead you one step at a time until you arrive at the beautiful purpose I have prepared for you. My beloved child, there are times when you look at your own weakness and quietly wonder whether you are enough for the journey I have placed before you. You see the areas where you still struggle. You notice the moments when fear returns, when your strength feels small, and when your heart grows weary. You compare yourself with others who appear more confident, more capable, or more prepared, and you begin to believe that your weakness disqualifies you from the purpose I have for your life. But I want you to hear my heart today. Your weakness does not discourage me. In many ways, it becomes the very place where my strength is revealed most beautifully. The world teaches you to hide your weakness, to pretend you have everything under control, and to believe that needing help is a sign of failure. But my kingdom is different. I never ask you to become self-sufficient. I created you to live in continual relationship with me. Every moment you recognize your need for me becomes another opportunity for my power to work within you. Dependence upon me is not defeat. It is the beginning of true strength. Imagine a clay vessel being formed in the hands of a skilled potter. Before it becomes useful, the clay must remain soft and willing to be shaped. If it hardens too soon, it cannot become what the potter intended. My beloved child, humility keeps your heart soft in my hands. When you admit that you need my guidance, my wisdom, and my strength, you allow me to continue shaping you into someone who reflects my love more clearly each day. There have been moments when you prayed, "Father, remove this weakness from me." Sometimes I answered by changing your circumstances. Other times, I answered by giving you greater strength to walk through them. Both answers came from my love. There are seasons when I calm the storm around you, and there are seasons when I calm the storm within you. In both, I remain faithful. In both, I remain close. In both, my purpose is to draw you nearer to my heart. Do not despise the places where you feel limited. Those very places often protect you from pride and keep your heart attentive to my voice. When everything seems effortless, it is easy to begin trusting your own ability more than my guidance. But when you recognize your need for me, you remain connected to the source of every good gift. Your weakness becomes a doorway through which my grace continually flows. Think of a mighty tree standing through years of wind and rain. What gives the tree its stability is not merely the strength of its trunk but the depth of its roots. Those roots grow deeper during difficult seasons, reaching toward hidden water beneath the surface. In the same way, trials have been sending the roots of your faith deeper into my presence. What appears to be weakness on the surface is often producing unseen strength beneath it. The storms have not come to uproot you. They have taught your roots where to find living water. My beloved child, never assume that I choose people because they appear flawless. Throughout every generation, I have delighted in working through ordinary hearts that simply trusted me. I have always been able to accomplish extraordinary things through those who remained humble enough to depend upon my strength rather than their own. I do not need perfect ability. I seek willing hearts, When you offer me your weakness, I fill it with my grace. When you offer me your uncertainty, I surround it with my peace. When you offer me your limitations, I reveal possibilities that only my power can accomplish. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be moments when you realize you cannot continue by relying on yourself. Do not see those moments as failures. See them as invitations. Come to me without hesitation. Tell me honestly where you feel weak. I will never turn away from a sincere heart. I will renew your strength. I will remind you that you were never meant to carry life alone. My presence has always been your greatest source of endurance. Do not measure your usefulness by how strong you feel in a particular moment. Measure it by how closely you remain with me. A small lamp shines brightly because it is connected to its source of light. A branch bears fruit because it remains connected to the vine. Your life becomes fruitful not because you possess endless strength, but because you continue abiding in my love day after day. My beloved child, one day you will look back and realize that the places you once tried to hide became the very places where my glory was most clearly displayed. Others will not only see your victories, they will see the faithfulness that carried you through your weakness. They will recognize that your peace did not come from human strength but from my constant presence. Your story will encourage those who believe they are too weak to continue, because they will discover through your life that my grace truly is sufficient. So do not be afraid of your weakness anymore. Bring it to me with confidence. Place it into my loving hands. I am not disappointed by your need. I welcome it, because every time you lean upon me, you discover again that my strength never fails. Walk forward, my beloved child, not trusting in your own power, but resting in mine. I will uphold you, strengthen you, and faithfully carry you through every season until the work I have begun within you is complete. My beloved child, there have been seasons when you stood before doors that refused to open no matter how sincerely you prayed. You knocked with hope, waited with patience, and believed that the opportunity before you was the one you needed. Yet nothing changed. Those moments tested your faith because you wondered whether I had forgotten you or whether your prayers had somehow gone unheard. But I want you to understand something that will bring peace to your heart. The doors I open cannot be closed by human hands, and the doors I close cannot prevent the beautiful future I have prepared for you. So often, you measure progress by the number of opportunities you can see. When one path disappears, you begin to fear that your purpose has disappeared with it. But your calling has never depended upon a single opportunity. Your purpose rests securely in my hands, not in the changing circumstances of this world. If one door closes, I am never left searching for another plan. My wisdom has always been greater than the limitations you can see. Imagine a traveler approaching a mountain. From where they stand, the mountain appears to block every possible path forward. The traveler assumes the journey has reached its end. Yet the guide who knows the land smiles with quiet confidence, because he is aware of a hidden passage on the other side. The obstacle that seems final to the traveler is only temporary to the guide. My beloved child, I am your guide. What appears impossible to you has never limited my ability to lead you. There are moments when I close doors because they belong to a season that has already fulfilled its purpose. Holding on to them would only delay the new work I desire to accomplish in your life. A loving gardener prunes branches not because he dislikes the tree, but because he sees the greater harvest that is still to come. In the same way, I sometimes remove what has become familiar so that you will have room to receive what is better. What feels like loss in the moment often becomes the beginning of greater fruitfulness. Do not be discouraged when others seem to move ahead while you continue waiting. Every life unfolds according to a different purpose. I am not writing identical stories for my children. I am crafting each life with perfect wisdom. If I ask you to remain where you are for a little longer, it is never because I have forgotten you. It is because I am preparing something that requires the patience you are learning today. Trust that my timing and my direction always work together. My beloved child, there are blessings that no human being can prevent from reaching you. If I have spoken a promise over your life, no opinion, no rejection, no delay, and no obstacle has the authority to cancel what I have established. People may misunderstand you. Circumstances may change unexpectedly. Plans may need to be adjusted. Yet none of those things are greater than my purpose. What I have prepared for you will arrive at the right time because I am faithful to complete what I begin. Perhaps you have been standing before the same closed door for so long that you no longer notice the new path I have already begun revealing. Sometimes your eyes become fixed on what did not happen, and because of that, you overlook the quiet invitations I place before you each day. Lift your eyes, my beloved child. Ask me to help you see beyond disappointment. I am often opening a better way, while you are still grieving the one that ended. Think about a river flowing through the land. When it meets a large stone, it does not stop forever. It continues moving, finding another way around the obstacle. Eventually, the water reaches its destination because it does not surrender when the path changes. In the same way, my purposes continue moving through your life. Temporary obstacles cannot stop the work of my love. They may redirect your journey, but they cannot destroy the destination I have prepared. This is why I ask you not to force doors open through fear or impatience. Anything gained outside of my guidance will never bring the lasting peace you seek. Wait for the doors that open with my wisdom. Walk through the opportunities that carry my peace. You never need to struggle to convince me to fulfill my promises. I am already committed to every good purpose I have spoken over your life. When the right door opens, you will recognize my hand upon it. There will be challenges, because every meaningful journey requires faith, but there will also be a deep assurance within your spirit that I am leading you. My peace will accompany your steps. My strength will sustain your heart. My provision will meet you along the way. You will not walk alone because I will go before you, beside you, and behind you. My beloved child, stop fearing that you have missed your opportunity forever. What belongs to you through my will cannot be stolen by delay, rejection, or human resistance. Keep seeking me. Keep trusting me. Keep walking faithfully even when you cannot yet see the next door. At the appointed time, I will open what no one can shut, and when I do, you will understand why every closed door along the way was an expression of my wisdom, my protection, and my unfailing love. Until that moment arrives, remain at peace, because the one who holds every key is lovingly guiding every step of your journey. My beloved child, there are moments when loneliness feels heavier than any burden you have ever carried. It is possible to stand in a crowded room and still feel unseen. It is possible to smile in the presence of many people while quietly wondering whether anyone truly understands the weight within your heart. There have been nights when silence seemed overwhelming, and you questioned whether anyone was walking beside you through your struggles. But I want you to hear my promise today with absolute certainty. I will never leave you. There has never been a single moment of your life when my presence departed from you, and there never will be. Long before you recognized my voice, I was already watching over you. Before you learned to pray, I knew every word your heart would one day speak. Before your first joy and before your deepest sorrow, I had already committed my love to you. Relationships may change. People may come and go. Circumstances may shift without warning. But my faithfulness is not shaped by changing seasons. I remain constant because my love is eternal. There are times when my presence feels quiet, and you mistake quietness for distance. Yet a loving father does not stop loving his child simply because he is sitting silently beside them. Sometimes the deepest expressions of love require no words at all. In the same way, there have been moments when I was carrying you so gently that you mistook my strength for your own. You believed you were walking alone, but it was my hand that kept you from falling. Imagine a shepherd leading his flock through a narrow valley just before sunrise. The valley is dark, and unfamiliar sounds echo from every direction. The sheep cannot see far ahead, yet they continue moving because the shepherd remains among them. His presence becomes their courage. They do not need to understand every shadow because they trust the one who walks beside them. My beloved child, that is how I walk with you. I do not ask you to face dark valleys alone. I enter them with you. My presence transforms places of fear into places where faith can quietly grow. There have been chapters of your life when you believed everyone had forgotten you. Friends became distant. Expectations were not fulfilled. People who promised to remain close walked away. Those experiences wounded your heart because they made you wonder if everyone eventually leaves. But I am not like human love that depends upon changing emotions or circumstances. I do not make promises that I cannot keep. When I say I will never leave you, those words remain true through every season of your life. My beloved child, I have been with you in moments you may have already forgotten. I was there when you celebrated victories and thanked me with joy. I was there when disappointment stole your words, and all you could offer was silence. I was there when fear kept you awake through the night. I was there when unexpected blessings filled your heart with gratitude. There has never been a chapter in your story where my presence was absent, even if your eyes could not recognize me. Sometimes you ask me to remove every difficult circumstance so that you can feel secure. Yet there are moments when I choose instead to reveal my presence more deeply within the circumstance itself. A storm does not prove that I have abandoned the boat. Often it becomes the very place where you discover that I have been with you all along. Peace is not found because every wave disappears. Peace is found because you realize the one who commands the waves is standing beside you. Think about a child learning to cross a busy street while holding a loving father's hand. The child may not understand the traffic or recognize every danger, but confidence comes from the hand that never lets go. Even if the child becomes frightened, the father's grip remains firm. My beloved child, my hold upon your life is far stronger than your hold upon me. There may be days when your faith feels weak, but my faithfulness never weakens. There may be moments when your heart trembles, but my hands remain steady. Do not allow your feelings to become the measure of my presence. Feelings change with circumstances, but my promises remain unchanged. On joyful days, I am with you. On difficult days, I am with you. When prayers are quickly answered, I am with you. When you must wait patiently, I am with you. My presence does not depend upon the season you are walking through. It depends upon my unchanging character, and I cannot deny my own faithful love. There will come a time when you look back over your entire journey and realize that the moments you feared most became the places where my nearness was revealed most beautifully. You will recognize how I quietly protected you, strengthened you, and comforted you even when you thought you were standing alone. Every tear I collected, every prayer I heard, every burden I helped you carry will become part of the testimony of my faithfulness. So whenever loneliness tries to convince you that you have been abandoned, return your thoughts to my promise. Speak it over your heart until peace begins to replace fear. Remember that I am closer than your next breath. I walk beside you in every valley, celebrate with you on every mountain, and remain with you through every ordinary day in between. My beloved child, I will never leave you. I will never grow weary of loving you. I will never become distant or forget your name. Wherever your journey leads, my presence will go before you, remain beside you, and surround you with unfailing love. Hold my hand with confidence, for the one who has walked with you from the beginning will continue walking with you until the journey is complete. My beloved child, I know there are days when you feel tired of the journey. You have been faithful through seasons of waiting. You have continued praying even when answers seemed delayed. You have chosen hope when discouragement tried to settle into your heart. Yet there are moments when you quietly ask, Father, how much farther must I go? I hear that question with compassion. I know the weariness you feel. But today I gently place my hand upon your heart and say to you, keep walking forward. Do not stop now. You are much closer than you realize. Sometimes you become discouraged because you judge your progress by what you can immediately see. If circumstances have not changed as quickly as you hoped, you assume nothing is happening. But my beloved child, visible progress is only one part of the journey. Some of the greatest work I accomplish takes place beneath the surface, where human eyes cannot yet recognize it. While you focus on outward results, I continue strengthening your faith, refining your character, and preparing your heart for what lies ahead. Think of a farmer who faithfully plants seeds across a wide field. After sowing, the land appears unchanged. Days pass, and there seems to be no evidence that anything is happening. Yet the farmer does not return each morning to dig up the seed and question whether it is growing. He trusts the process. He continues watering, tending, and waiting because he understands that life is developing beneath the soil long before it becomes visible above the ground. My beloved child, your journey with me is often like that field. What seems hidden today is quietly becoming tomorrow's harvest. Do not confuse slow growth with the absence of growth. The tallest trees are not built in a single season. Rivers carve valleys through patient persistence, not sudden force. Mountains themselves are shaped over long periods of time. The beautiful work I am doing within your life follows the wisdom of my perfect timing. I am not interested in temporary success that quickly fades. I am establishing something lasting within your heart. There have been moments when you wanted to turn back because the road became difficult. You wondered whether continuing to trust me was worth the effort. Yet every step you took in faith, even when your emotions struggled to keep pace, became part of the foundation I am building. I have seen every quiet act of obedience that no one else noticed. I have seen every prayer offered through tears. I have seen every decision to forgive instead of becoming bitter. None of these moments have been forgotten. Each one has become a precious offering before me. Imagine a traveler climbing a high mountain. As the path grows steeper, the traveler becomes exhausted and is tempted to stop. Looking upward, the summit still seems far away. Looking downward, the distance already traveled feels discouraging because it cannot be fully appreciated from that position. But if the traveler gives up only a short distance before reaching the top, they never experience the breathtaking view waiting beyond the next rise. My beloved child, do not allow temporary weariness to rob you of the joy that is drawing nearer with every faithful step. When your strength feels small, remember that I have never asked you to complete the journey by relying upon yourself alone. My strength is renewed each day for those who seek me. You do not need to borrow tomorrow's strength for today's path. I provide exactly what you need for the step you are taking now. When tomorrow arrives, my grace will meet you there as well. This is why I continually invite you to remain close to me. I never intended for you to walk this road carrying unnecessary burdens. There will be voices that urge you to quit. Some will come from fear. Others will come from disappointment. Still others may arise from the opinions of people who cannot see what I am accomplishing in your life. Do not allow those voices to become louder than mine. My voice continues calling you forward with hope. I see the destination even when you can only see the next step. Trust the one who already knows how this journey ends. My beloved child, every season has a purpose. The difficult days teach perseverance. The quiet days teach trust. The joyful days remind you of my goodness. Even the ordinary days shape your faithfulness. Nothing is wasted when your life is placed into my hands. I weave together every moment with perfect wisdom until your story reveals my love in ways you could never have imagined while you were still walking through it. So if your heart feels tired today, rest in my presence, but do not surrender your hope. If your feet feel weary, lean upon my strength, but do not stop walking. If your prayers seem unanswered, continue trusting my faithfulness, because I am still working even when my work remains unseen. Every step you take with me is bringing you closer to the promises I have prepared. My beloved child, keep walking forward. Do not measure your journey only by what your eyes can see today. Measure it by my unwavering faithfulness, which has carried you through every season until this moment. The harvest is growing. The mountain is becoming lower with every step. The sunrise is drawing near. I am walking beside you, strengthening you, guiding you, and encouraging you to continue. Hold my hand firmly, and together we will finish the journey I lovingly prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, as you continue walking with me, I want you to understand a truth that will bring freedom to your heart. The purpose of your journey has never been only about reaching a destination. It has always been about becoming the person I created you to be. You often focus on where you are going, while I lovingly focus on who you are becoming along the way. Every step, every challenge, every season of waiting, and every unexpected blessing had been shaping your heart into a reflection of my love. There have been moments when you believed your progress could only be measured by visible success. You thought that if circumstances changed, then you were growing. If doors opened, then you were moving forward. But my beloved child, there is a deeper measure of growth. Have you become more patient than you once were? Have you learned to trust me more than you did before? Have you become quicker to forgive, gentler in your words, and steadier in your faith? These quiet transformations are treasures in my sight because they reveal that my spirit is working within you. Imagine a sculptor standing before a large block of stone. To those watching, every strike of the chisel may appear destructive. Small pieces fall away day after day. It seems as though the stone is becoming less instead of more. Yet the sculptor sees the masterpiece hidden within. Every careful strike removes only what does not belong. Gradually, beauty emerges from what once seemed ordinary. My beloved child, I have been shaping your life with that same loving wisdom. There are attitudes, fears, and burdens that cannot remain if you are to become the person I created you to be. What I remove with purpose. What I leave behind, I strengthen with love. Do not become discouraged when I ask you to let go of something familiar. Sometimes the habits you cling to, the fears you entertain, or even the comforts you depend upon quietly prevent you from experiencing the fullness of my peace. My desire is never to leave you empty. Whenever I ask you to release something, it is because I am preparing your hands to receive something greater. Trust that my love never takes without also giving according to my perfect wisdom. My beloved child, one of the greatest changes I desire within you is not simply a change in your circumstances, but a change in your perspective. I want you to begin seeing life through the eyes of faith instead of fear. When difficulties arise, do not immediately ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, gently ask, Father, what are you teaching me through this moment? That simple question opens your heart to my guidance. It transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and trials into classrooms where wisdom is quietly formed. There are people whose lives will one day be strengthened because of what I am teaching you now. The compassion growing within your heart is not only for your own healing. It will become a refuge for someone who feels forgotten. The patience you are learning will one day encourage someone who is ready to give up. The peace I am planting within you will become visible to those searching for hope. I rarely bless my children only for themselves. I bless them so that my love may flow through them into the lives of others. Think about a candle placed in a dark room. It does not struggle against the darkness by arguing with it. It simply shines. The light quietly changes the entire atmosphere without demanding attention. My beloved child, this is how I desire your life to become. As you continue walking closely with me, my love will shine through your kindness, your forgiveness, your humility, and your unwavering trust. Others may never fully understand why you carry peace during difficult seasons, but they will see its beauty. Your life will become a testimony that my presence is real. Do not wait until every prayer has been answered before choosing gratitude. Gratitude opens your heart to recognize blessings that anxiety often overlooks. Every sunrise, every breath, every act of kindness, every quiet moment of my presence is a reminder that I remain faithfully at work. A grateful heart sees my fingerprints in ordinary days and discovers joy even while waiting for greater promises to unfold. My beloved child, never forget that transformation is often gentle. It rarely happens through one dramatic moment alone. It happens through countless quiet choices made in my presence. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, trust over fear, hope over despair, and love over bitterness, your heart becomes a little more like mine. These choices may seem small, but they shape the person you are becoming far more than you realize. So continue walking with me without fear. Allow me to shape your heart each day. Do not resist the loving work of my hands, even when you do not fully understand it. The masterpiece I am creating within you is far more beautiful than anything you could shape on your own. One day you will look back and recognize that the greatest miracle was not simply that I guided you through difficult seasons, but that I transformed you while leading you through them. And as my love continues to grow within your heart, you will discover that becoming more like me has been the greatest gift I could ever give you. My beloved child, as this journey continues, I want to teach you one of the greatest secrets of walking with me. True peace is not something you discover after every problem has disappeared. It is something you receive while you are still walking through the middle of life's uncertainties. Many people spend their lives chasing peace in changing circumstances. They believe that if every challenge could be solved, every relationship restored, every prayer immediately answered, and every fear removed, then their hearts would finally be at rest. But peace that depends upon circumstances will always rise and fall with those circumstances. The peace I give you is different. It remains because it is rooted in my unchanging presence. My beloved child, you have already experienced moments that prove this truth. There were seasons when everything around you appeared uncertain, yet somehow a quiet confidence settled over your heart. You could not explain it. Others may have expected you to fall apart, yet I carried you with a strength that exceeded your understanding. That was not your own ability. That was my peace guarding your heart. It was my reminder that you never face life's storms alone. Imagine a lighthouse standing upon a rocky shoreline. Day after day, powerful waves crash against the cliffs. Fierce winds howl across the sea. Dark clouds gather overhead. Yet the lighthouse remains steady. It does not move with the waves. It does not surrender to the storm. Its foundation is firmly anchored beneath the surface where the sea cannot shake it. My beloved child, I desire your heart to become like that lighthouse. The storms of life may continue around you, but they do not have to determine what happens within you. When your foundation rests upon my love, your peace remains stronger than the waves. There have been times when fear entered your thoughts because you believed everything depended upon your own strength. You tried to control every outcome, anticipate every difficulty, and solve every problem before it even arrived. The burden became overwhelming because you attempted to carry responsibilities that belonged to me. I never asked you to control the future. I asked you to trust the one who already holds it. There is great freedom in releasing what you cannot control into my faithful hands. Every morning brings you a choice. You can begin the day by feeding your fears, rehearsing every possible problem, and allowing anxiety to shape your expectations. Or you can begin by remembering my promises. You can choose to place your plans before me, surrender your worries into my care, and receive the peace I freely offer. The direction of your thoughts often becomes the direction of your heart. Fill your mind with my truth, and your heart will gradually learn to rest. My beloved child, peace grows wherever trust is planted. When you continually remind yourself that I am with you, fear begins losing its power. When you remember how faithfully I have guided you through previous seasons, hope begins replacing anxiety. The enemy of your soul desires to keep your attention fixed upon uncertainty. I gently lift your eyes toward my faithfulness. I have never failed you. I have never abandoned you. I have never stopped working for your good, even during the seasons when my work remained hidden. Think about a small child resting peacefully in a moving carriage while a loving father guides the journey. The child is not troubled by every turn in the road because trust has replaced the need to understand every detail. The child rests because confidence has been placed in the one holding the reins. My beloved child, I invite you into that same restful trust. You do not need to understand every turn in your journey if you know the one who is guiding it. This does not mean that difficult emotions will never visit you. There will still be moments of sadness, disappointment, and uncertainty. But those emotions no longer have to become the rulers of your heart. Bring them to me as soon as they arise. Speak honestly with me. Do not hide your struggles. Every time you invite me into your weakness, my peace has room to settle where fear once tried to remain. I am not asking you to pretend that life is easy. I am inviting you to experience my presence in every part of it. As you continue walking with me, you will discover that peace is not merely a feeling. It becomes a way of living. It shapes your decisions. It influences your words. It allows you to respond with patience when others react with panic. It gives you the courage to keep moving forward when circumstances appear uncertain. This peace becomes a quiet testimony to those around you that your confidence rests in something greater than the changing world. So, my beloved child, do not spend your days chasing peace in places where it cannot remain. Do not believe that tomorrow must become perfect before your heart can rest today. Come into my presence each morning. Sit quietly with me. Place your worries into my hands before they grow heavy upon your shoulders. Let my promises become the song that fills your thoughts throughout the day. My beloved child, my peace is already reaching toward you. Open your heart and receive it again. Let it guard your mind when fear tries to enter. Let it strengthen your soul when weariness appears. Let it remind you that the one who guides your journey has never lost sight of the destination. Walk in that peace today, tomorrow, and every day that follows, knowing that my loving presence will always remain the safest place your heart can ever find. My beloved child, after everything I have spoken to your heart, I want you to remember one truth above all others. You were never meant to walk this journey by yourself. From the very beginning, my desire has been to walk beside you as a loving father, guiding your steps, strengthening your heart, and reminding you that you are deeply loved. Every invitation I have given you has been an invitation into relationship, not merely into answers. I did not call you only to solve your problems. I called you to know my heart. There are many people who seek my hand but never pause long enough to seek my presence. They ask for blessings, direction, protection, and provision, and I delight in caring for my children. Yet my greatest gift has never been merely what I place into your hands. My greatest gift has always been my presence with you. When you truly know me, peace no longer depends upon perfect circumstances. Hope no longer depends upon immediate answers. Joy no longer depends upon outward success. Everything begins to flow from the relationship we share together. Imagine two travelers beginning a long journey across unfamiliar land. One carries only a map. The other walks beside a wise guide who has traveled the road countless times. The traveler with only a map may know the general direction, but confusion can still arise when unexpected obstacles appear. The traveler with the guide, however, walks with quiet confidence because every question can be answered by the one who already knows the way. My beloved child, I have never intended to hand you a map and leave you to figure everything out. I have chosen to walk beside you every step of the way. There have been moments when you searched for signs while overlooking my presence. You looked for dramatic answers while I was quietly strengthening your heart. You waited for extraordinary miracles while I was faithfully providing daily bread, daily strength, daily peace, and daily grace. Never underestimate the beauty of my constant companionship. Many of my greatest miracles are found in ordinary moments when my love quietly sustains you. Do you remember how many times I carried you through days you believed you could not survive? At the time, you may not have recognized what I was doing. You simply continued moving forward one step at a time. Looking back now, you realize that strength came from somewhere beyond yourself. Wisdom arrived when confusion surrounded you. Peace settled into your heart even while circumstances remained uncertain. Those were not coincidences. They were expressions of my faithful presence walking beside you. My beloved child, I do not measure our relationship by how many words you speak during prayer. Sometimes the deepest moments we share happen in quietness. There are times when you simply sit before me without knowing what to say. Do not think those moments are empty. A loving father delights simply in the presence of his child. I delight in you drawing near, even when your only prayer is a quiet sigh or a heart that longs to rest in my love. As you continue through life, there will always be new questions, new opportunities, and new seasons. Some days will bring celebration. Others will bring unexpected challenges. But the greatest assurance you carry is not that life will always be easy. It is that you will never face any season without me. I will be your wisdom when decisions become difficult. I will be your courage when fear whispers. I will be your comfort when sorrow visits. I will be your strength when your own strength feels exhausted. Think of a vine growing steadily through every season of the year. Its branches remain alive because they continue receiving life from the source that nourishes them. If a branch becomes separated, it cannot flourish no matter how beautiful it once appeared. My beloved child, remain close to me. Let your heart stay connected to my love each day. The closer you remain to me, the more naturally peace, kindness, patience, faith, and hope will grow within your life. Do not make our relationship something you visit only during moments of crisis. Invite me into every ordinary part of your day. Speak with me while you work. Thank me for small blessings. Ask me for wisdom in simple decisions. Celebrate with me when joy fills your heart. Lean upon me when tears begin to fall. I desire to share every part of your life because I love every part of you. My beloved child, never believe that you must become perfect before drawing near to me. Come exactly as you are today. Bring your questions, your dreams, your victories, your failures, your gratitude, and your concerns. My love does not wait for perfection before welcoming you. It meets you where you are and gently leads you toward who I created you to become. So continue walking with me, not because you have all the answers, but because you have come to know the one who does. Let my presence become your greatest treasure. Let my voice become your daily comfort. Let my love become the foundation beneath every decision you make. As long as we walk together, you will never truly be lost, because I am the faithful shepherd who knows every path, every valley, every mountain, and every step that still lies ahead. Stay close to me, my beloved child, and I will continue guiding you through this life with everlasting love, unwavering wisdom, and perfect faithfulness. My beloved child, there comes a moment in every journey when you must decide which voice will shape the rest of your life. Will you continue allowing fear to determine your steps, or will you trust the one who has never failed you? I have been leading you gently from the beginning of this journey, reminding you again and again that you are not alone, that your future is secure, and that my love has never wavered. Now I call you to walk boldly without fear, not because the world has suddenly become free of trouble, but because I am with you wherever you go. Courage is not the absence of uncertainty. Courage is choosing to move forward while keeping your hand in mine. There will always be situations you cannot fully explain. There will always be moments when the road ahead disappears beyond the next hill. Yet you do not walk by sight alone. You walk by trust. Every step you take in faith declares that my promises are greater than your doubts and that my faithfulness is stronger than your fears. Think about a ship preparing to leave the safety of the harbor. As long as it remains tied to the dock, it avoids the wind and the waves. It appears safe, but it never fulfills the purpose for which it was built. The ship was created to cross the sea. It was designed to move forward even when the waters are uncertain. My beloved child, I did not create you to spend your life imprisoned by fear. I created you to walk into the purpose I prepared for you long before you were born. You were not made merely to survive. You were made to reflect my love with courage, compassion, and unwavering faith. There have been times when fear convinced you to remain where you were because staying still seemed easier than trusting me. You delayed decisions because you feared making mistakes. You hesitated to forgive because you feared being hurt again. You remained silent because you feared rejection. Yet every time you chose fear instead of faith, your heart became smaller than the life I intended for you. I do not say this to condemn you. I say it to invite you into freedom. The life I have prepared for you cannot be fully experienced while fear remains upon the throne of your heart. My beloved child, remember how many times I have already carried you through situations that once seemed impossible. There were nights when you believed morning would never come, yet here you are. There were burdens that appeared too heavy to bear, yet I strengthened you. There were doors that closed, and you thought your story had ended, yet I opened better ones in my perfect time. Why should tomorrow be different? The same Father who has faithfully guided you through every chapter of your past will faithfully guide you through every chapter still ahead. Do not wait until you feel completely fearless before obeying my voice. If you do, you will wait forever. Instead, take the next step while trusting that I will provide strength as you move. A child learning to walk does not receive balance before taking the first step. Balance develops while walking. In the same way, Courage grows while you obey me. Each act of faith strengthens the next. Every small victory over fear prepares your heart for greater responsibilities and deeper trust. There will be people who question the path I have placed before you. Some may not understand why you continue believing when circumstances appear difficult. Others may encourage you to rely only upon what your eyes can see. Love them with kindness, but do not surrender your confidence in my guidance. I know the road I have chosen for you. I know the purpose hidden within every season. I know the blessings waiting beyond every valley. Continue listening for my voice above every other voice. When fear whispers that you are too weak, remember that my strength has carried you this far. When fear tells you that you are alone, remember that my presence has never departed from you. When fear says your future is uncertain, remember that I already stand in your tomorrow. Every lie of fear is answered by the truth of my faithful love. Fill your heart with those truths until they become stronger than every anxious thought. My beloved child, I want you to begin each day with expectation instead of dread. Wake with the confidence that I am already working before you take your first step. Speak words of hope instead of defeat. Look for opportunities to show kindness instead of reasons to withdraw. Walk through each day believing that I am arranging moments of grace that you have not yet seen. A heart that expects my goodness becomes more attentive to my presence. Never forget that courage is contagious. When others see you walking with quiet confidence through difficult seasons, they will begin asking where your peace comes from. Your faith will become a light for weary hearts. Your steadfast trust will encourage those who are close to giving up. The bravery I am developing within you is not only for your own journey. It will become a blessing to countless others who are searching for hope. So rise each morning with your eyes fixed upon me. Walk boldly without fear. Do not allow yesterday's disappointments or tomorrow's uncertainties to steal today's obedience. Hold my hand, trust my promises, and move forward with confidence. My beloved child, I have gone before you, I remain beside you, and I will never fail you. Wherever I lead you, my love will sustain you, my wisdom will guide you, and my everlasting presence will give you every reason to walk forward without fear. My beloved child, as we come near the end of this journey together, I want you to gather every truth I have spoken and hold it close within your heart. There will be days ahead when you remember every word with perfect clarity, and there will be other days when life's pressures try to make you forget. That is why I remind you once more, keep your eyes on me. Do not allow your attention to become captured by fear, disappointment, or uncertainty. The direction of your gaze will often determine the condition of your heart. When your eyes remain fixed upon me, hope remains alive, peace remains steady, and courage continues to grow. Throughout this journey, I have shown you that I have never abandoned you. I have carried you through seasons you thought would overcome you. I have turned delays into preparation, closed doors into protection, weakness into strength, and sorrow into places where my comfort could be known. Every lesson has pointed toward one beautiful truth: my love for you has never changed. Before your first victory and after every failure, before your greatest joy and during your deepest pain, I have remained the same loving Father. Imagine a traveler crossing a wide sea by watching a bright star in the night sky. Clouds may pass across the heavens, waves may rise around the ship, and strong winds may push from every direction. Yet as long as the traveler continues looking toward the fixed light above, the course remains true. The star does not move because of the storm. It remains constant, guiding those who trust its position. My beloved child, let my presence become that constant light in your life. Circumstances will change, but I never will. Keep your eyes upon me, and I will continue guiding your path. There will be moments when distractions compete for your attention. Success may tempt you to depend upon yourself instead of me. Difficulty may tempt you to believe I have become distant. Fear may urge you to focus only on the waves surrounding you. But whenever you notice your heart becoming restless, gently return your gaze to me. Speak with me. Rest in my promises. Remember how faithfully I have guided you until this very day. The same hands that carried you yesterday are carrying you today and will carry you tomorrow. My beloved child, never underestimate the power of daily fellowship with me. Great faith is not built through one extraordinary moment alone. It grows through countless ordinary moments spent in my presence. Every prayer whispered with sincerity, every quiet act of obedience, every choice to trust me when answers are delayed becomes another stone in the strong foundation of your faith. These simple moments shape a life that remains steady when storms arrive. Think of a compass held by a traveler walking through a dense forest. Trees may block the view ahead, and the path may twist unexpectedly, but the compass continues pointing in the right direction. My word, my promises, and my presence are like that compass for your soul. Whenever confusion surrounds you, return to me. Whenever fear begins speaking loudly, return to me. Whenever joy fills your heart, return to me with gratitude. Make me the center of every season, and you will never lose your true direction. Do not become discouraged if you stumble from time to time. Even faithful travelers occasionally lose their footing on difficult paths. What matters is not that you never stumble. What matters is that you continue reaching for my hand. I will always lift you. I will always forgive you. I will always remind you that your identity rests in my love, not in your imperfections. Never allow one difficult day to convince you that I have stopped walking beside you. My beloved child, as you move forward from this moment, remember that every sunrise is another invitation to walk with me. Every new day is another opportunity to trust my guidance, receive my peace, and reflect my love to those around you. You do not need to fear what lies ahead because the one who holds eternity is holding your hand. There is no valley too deep for my presence, no mountain too high for my strength, and no road too long for my faithful companionship. The world around you will continue changing. People may come and go. Seasons will begin and end. Some prayers will be answered quickly, while others will require patient waiting. But through it all, let one truth remain unshaken within your heart. I am enough. My love is enough. My wisdom is enough. My grace is enough. When everything else seems uncertain, my faithfulness remains your unchanging foundation. So keep your eyes on me, my beloved child. Walk with confidence instead of fear. Choose faith instead of worry. Choose hope instead of despair. Continue taking one faithful step after another, knowing that I delight in every moment we share together. The story I am writing in your life is not ending with uncertainty. It is moving steadily toward the beautiful purpose I prepared before you ever drew your first breath. Stay close to me, trust my heart above your understanding, and you will discover again and again that I have been guiding you through every season, every trial, every victory, and every step of the journey with everlasting love. My beloved child, we have walked together through every part of this journey, and now I want you to pause for a moment and remember everything I have placed within your heart. When you first came to me, you carried questions, fears, burdens, and uncertainties. You wondered whether anyone truly understood what you were facing. You longed for direction, comfort, and hope. I have spoken to you through every season, reminding you again and again that you have never been alone. My promise has never changed, and it never will. Come to me, and I will guide you through this. As you leave this moment and continue your journey, do not think that my voice ends here. I will continue speaking to your heart tomorrow, next week, and throughout every season of your life. Whenever you feel uncertain, remember that I already know the path ahead. Whenever fear begins to whisper, remember that my love is greater than every fear. Whenever weariness settles upon your soul, remember that my strength has no end. You do not need to search for me in distant places because I have always been nearer than your next breath. My beloved child, there will still be mountains to climb and valleys to cross. There will be prayers that require patient waiting and blessings that arrive in ways you never expected. But now you know that your confidence does not rest in changing circumstances. Your confidence rests in me. I am your shepherd. I am your refuge. I am your strength. I am your peace. The road may change, but the one leading you never changes. Carry my promises into every new day. When you awaken each morning, place your hand in mine before you place your feet upon the ground. Invite me into every conversation, every decision, every joy, and every challenge. Let gratitude become your daily song. Let trust become your daily choice. Let love become the language through which others encounter my heart. The more closely you walk with me, the more clearly my light will shine through your life. Never forget that your story is still unfolding. I am not finished with you. There are lives you will encourage, hearts you will strengthen, prayers you will help answer through your kindness, and moments of hope you will bring simply by reflecting my love. The comfort I have poured into your heart was never meant to remain there alone. It will overflow into others who are searching for the same peace that you have found in me. When difficult days come, return to my presence instead of running from it. When joyful days arrive, celebrate them with me. Whether your heart is filled with questions or overflowing with gratitude, know that my arms remain open. You will never reach a place where my love cannot find you. You will never face a burden too heavy for my strength. You will never take a step beyond the reach of my faithful hand. My beloved child, before we close this journey together, hear my heart one final time. If these words have brought light into your life, let that light continue reaching countless others who are still waiting in darkness. I declare over you, whoever sows generously will also reap generously, and I invite you to respond to my call with joyful obedience. For YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift using the link in the video description or the QR code shown in this video, you become a willing vessel through whom my word continues flowing to weary hearts around the world. Every seed you sow becomes another lamp lifted in the darkness, another stream flowing into a dry place, another soul reminded that I have not forgotten them. I will bless every cheerful giver with fresh peace, renewed strength, and open doors according to my perfect will. Let your generosity become a living testimony that you trust me as your provider. Do not hesitate when I stir your heart to act, for obedience releases blessings beyond what you can imagine. Rise now and sow into the harvest I am gathering. Let your giving become worship, let your faith become action, and let my love continue reaching the nations through you. Now go forward with confidence, my beloved child. Walk without fear because I am with you. Love without hesitation because my love fills you. Trust without wavering because my promises never fail. Keep your eyes upon me. Keep your heart open to my voice and keep taking one faithful step at a time. Until the day you see the fullness of everything I have prepared for you, remember these words. Come to me, and I will guide you through this. I have loved you from the beginning, I love you now, and I will love you forever. Amen.